That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat and get your thoughts in on the CFP screw job.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to let you down.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some very, very pointed opinions. I need to get some other things out first.
Go ahead and engage.
Just to make sure that first of all, we got to build the drop button to make sure that there's enough drop.
Yes.
For all the things I'm going to say.
Engage the delay here. So,
yeah. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, you'll see that there's a nice little addition to the stream that should tell you exactly how I feel about how things transpired yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to that at the start of the second hour. So if you're looking for the Jeremy Meltdown, that will be at the start of the 1 o'clock hour.
Yes. We'll get into all of it. The College Football Playoff Committee doing the thing they've never done before. It's just a record-breaking year for college football, right? It's just setting the mark.
Move on.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, move
go.
on. I don't have my mind yet. I'm telling you, if you want to have a job tomorrow, you should move past this and on to anything else.
I'm trying to. The NFL, obviously, it was fun. Man, picking games. Did you see how we did this week?
You were better than me, which is not saying much.
Not when you count my bet your house game, because I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah, I missed mine too. So,
did you?
Yeah, I had Cleveland. So.
Oh, I didn't know which one you had your bet
I
your
said
house
there
on.
were 4 games that I considered. I was 3-0 in the games that I said that I didn't pick. I was 0-1 in the game that I did pick.
Oh.
And you know why? Because this weekend was just a great big pice of tomfoolery. That's all it was. That's all it was.
See, there you go. I come in thinking that I had lost this week's pick'em, but apparently not. Jeremy sucked a little bit more than I did this week.
Well, I mean, you also all forgot to tell me to put the games in the poll, so, there's that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was that.
You know what else there was? Philadelphia getting beat like a just shoe buddy.
That is a problem, but everybody's going to have this problem, I feel like, when you face the San Francisco 49ers at full strength, right? I mean, this is now the second, well, I guess Have they played the Commanders already? I mean, they don't really matter in the whole scheme of things. But, I mean, you take the Cowboys and the Eagles, the two teams that should be closest to the San Francisco 49ers, and they have lost to them by a combined score of, 84 to 29?
I believe that is correct.
That is brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And San Francisco is dominant.
San Francisco's good, yes. But we're overreacting aggressively. Right now, the betting favorite in Las Vegas to win NFL MVP is Brock Purdy. Stop that, okay? I'm almost to the point of you telling me that Texas is one of the 4 best teams in college football. You can say it until you're blue in the face. It's still real stupid. Like, it's just real stupid no matter how many times you do it.
Quarterback on the best team? They usually get the nod, right?
Is Brock Purdy the most valuable player in this league? Let's just boil this down to the net of the words that I just said.
No.
If you put Brock Purdy on any other NFL team, do they get better or worse?
Depending on who their quarterback is.
Well, I mean, if it's the New York Jets, you could put me playing quarterback. They would get better.
Right.
I mean in terms of a contender. If Brock Purdy's the starting quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, are they better or worse? If he's the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, are they better or worse? If he's the starting quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, are they better or worse? Okay, I'm not done yet, but I think you've gotten the gist of my point. So maybe calm down on that.
Right.
Biggest takeaway from this game was what?
Was that Philadelphia's got a problem.
I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's exactly where my brain is. It's great. San Francisco beat you 42-19, your home field. I get it. All those things are hunky-dunky. I told you Friday that there was nothing San Francisco could do that would overly impress me. Now, did I expect them to do this? No. And was I impressed by what they did? Yes. I don't really care what San Francisco does until you do it in the playoffs, because as I very plainly stated, I have no doubt that you can win regular season games. I doubt that you can do that in the playoffs. So good for you. You now have an inside track to the 1 seed in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be paramount for you. It's a very talented team. It's also a team that has historically struggled with injuries. So maybe make sure that you have cart, reins, horse, because I feel like we're doing that out of order. The bigger takeaway is Philadelphia has a big old problem, and his name is Brian Johnson. I do not know, and this will never really make sense to me, I don't know how teams come into a game with one mindset, and somehow 3 drives in, all of it goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never get that. I'll never understand it, and I've now watched Philadelphia do it no less than 7 times. Jalen Hurts, too much is being put on him. He is not a good thrower of the football, and yesterday is a really good example of what I'm talking about. He threw it 45 times. If you had told me that going into this game, that one quarterback would throw it 27 times, the other one would throw it 45, cool. The latter lost, and it probably wasn't close.
Right.
Because neither one of these guys need that much of their offense riding on them.
No doubt. You get behind and you got to throw, right? It's the only way that you're going to do that. You're going to come back. So what should they have done? Do you rely more on the run when you're trying to erase a 2-touchdown deficit?
Well, that's the problem, is that you get behind, and now you have a quarterback that's exactly what I told you was when he came into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
He's a special player. He's not a special passer. Philadelphia can beat you one way. I have said this over and over and over again. They beat you one way. Buffalo beat themselves in large part and had a little help from the officials. But, frankly, I have bigger things to be mad at this week than officials, so I'm going to let that one marinate. We have our first one of these of the day. Oh, no, that's not the right button. That's not the right button. None of them are working. Awesome. You can assume. Colin Green said 3-hour show of Alabama slander. I don't think my take on this is going to go the way you think it is. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
I've had 24 hours to marinate. Mount Moriah Church, of which I believe that is the first time we've ever had a church comment in the YouTube comments, said they are here for the rant. The rant is coming.
Yes.
I promise. It's here. I'm wearing Florida State colored garb. If you're watching our YouTube stream, we have Florida State themed shirts.
Mm-hmm.
That really speak to how I feel. But I feel like basically what happened yesterday is the Philadelphia Eagles did not really show up, and they just cracked the NFC open like a coconut.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I feel like there are 4 teams that could be the 1 seed, and whoever that 1 seed is probably who I'm going to think is making it to the Super Bowl. Because I got news for you. You play the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night. They're surging. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's in their house. This all sets up to be, we are tied. The top of the NFC East is tied. What are we going to do now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's when that's when things get real interesting. But Philadelphia, I mean, they have to make these additions, right? The Shaq Leonard thing, that has to happen for them, right? You're too thin at linebacker, and it showed in that game yesterday.
Well, this team's thin. Thing that's blowing my mind is, why is this news to people?
It's not. It's not news to anybody. It
seems to be.
But now it's a problem. It wasn't a problem before before your guys got hurt.
It was always a problem because that was always a potential.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it change anything you feel about Philadelphia? If you had, let's just go, gun to your head, you had to pick the team that was going to win the NFC. Are you now all the way in on San Francisco and all the way out on Philadelphia?
No.
Good, because you shouldn't be.
No. I am more in the San Francisco camp than I was, but I still feel like Philadelphia is the team to beat.
So you have to put betting odds on it. Top 4 teams in the NFC that you win the NFC and represent that conference in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say it's probably like Philadelphia at plus.
I would go Philadelphia 3-1.
300.
I will go San Francisco at 5-1.
Okay.
Dallas is probably 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Detroit is the sweet little betting long shot at
the 750.
No, they're way higher than that. 20-1.
Mm.
And look, Detroit's a team that got out to a 21-0 lead yesterday before I got home. I walked in the door at 1:13. They were up 21-0.
Right.
You struggled to put away the New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm.
So Detroit's way out there.
Okay.
I'm now to the point, and I've said this in different ways over the course of every Overreaction Monday we've done. San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Dallas are 1, 2, 3. Whatever order you want to put them in, whatever makes you feel hunky-dunky, you do that. For me, it's still Philadelphia 1, San Francisco a very close 2, and Dallas a very close 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know they beat them. I'm well aware of that.
I was gonna say, they
if
beat
there's
the
ever in
brains
my
out of
life,
both of them.
if there's ever in my life been a day where you got to take the whole body of work and not just one win, today is that day. You should know that was coming from me.
Well, I mean, as CFP told us, right? The playoff committee told us head-to-head matters.
Never said it didn't matter.
I see the San Francisco 49ers do what they did to the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's hard not to feel like this is theirs to lose, despite the fact that the records are better for the other two teams. But again, you have to prove it when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to do it in the playoffs. And the interesting thing about it is only one of those teams recently do we feel good about that, right?
I don't know that I feel any better about any of them. They all have a big drawback. Dallas has never been able to really jump up and perform on the biggest stages. Neither has San Francisco. Philadelphia is the one that has. I don't trust either one of your coordinators as far as I can throw them.
Oh, wait, San Francisco did a couple of years ago, right? They were in a Super Bowl, 3-4 years ago?
Yep, a Super Bowl that you, without a doubt, should have won, and you boo-boo kidded in your pants.
Right. I'm not saying they weren't. Just saying they have made it to one in recent years. And Dallas is the one that you look at, and I don't feel like you can have much confidence in them in making that deep playoff run and finally getting off the schneid. But next week's going to be fun.
It's
Next
wide
week's
open.
going to be great. Oh, yeah, at the top, it is wide open. You're in the Sportsocracy. This ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. An overreaction Monday. Adam Black in the comments, he said, congratulations, Tank, on your win over the powerhouse Carolina Panthers. Appreciate that. I mean, it takes a lot to beat a team that's 1-11 on the season.
Oh, and you struggled. There were definitely opportunities for the Panthers to get that second win, but man alive, you just don't know how to win football games.
Yep. That is very true. We'll continue with the overreactions from Week 13 in the NFL coming up next.
I find it really funny that so far we're 14 minutes into this here program. I've seen no less than 20 people comment what they think I'm going to say at the beginning of the next hour, and so far, not one of you is right. Not one. You have absolutely no idea what I'm getting ready to say. Now, if you saw me go off as this happened, you got an idea because those elements are still factored in there. But I've had 24 hours, and maybe seek some spiritual enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe ask some questions of the world. Maybe say some really horrific things on social media and tell some people to do some things that are physically impossible. You can't with yourself. It's not possible. Nobody could do it.
Yep.
That didn't keep me from saying it, but it's
Mr. Seminole is going to go off on the college football playoff coming up at the top of the next hour. We'll continue with our Week 13 takeaways and overreactions. How about that AFC North, man? They're just bangers up and down the roster there. We'll talk about them up next. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Temperatures getting low but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back on an Overreaction Monday here in the Ingles studio. ESPN Asheville. Yeah, it's coming. Just hang with us. 4 o'clock hour. The full reaction of the college football playoff screw job.
David Beckerman said if I have to hear from any more Florida State fans about how what happened isn't fair, I may end it. Okay, well I'm gonna drop a little breadcrumb in every segment up until the beginning of the 1 o'clock hour. I am the resident Florida State fan. I am also the one that on a daily basis says the only fair in life shows up in your town once a year with Ferris wheels and funnel cakes. It ain't going to be the fair angle that I'm playing. I promise you. I promise you. And I'll drop another little breadcrumb in the next segment.
Nice. Let's talk about the AFC North. Yesterday was not a good day for the AFC North.
It's good for one team.
Well, I mean, the Baltimore Ravens were on bye, so good for them.
Yeah, that's the one team that had a real good yesterday.
The Pittsburgh Steelers struggled with the weather up there in Pittsburgh. What was that? 2 different halftimes they had to have because of lightning delays and such. And man, that offense it lasted for 4 whole quarters. You had 400 yards of offense last week, and this week it was, 150?
Hey, but you got a Deontay Johnson little touchdown dance while you're down 21-3.
Yeah.
But he scored, and he had to do his little dance. Make a little love, get down tonight.
Of course.
Woo! Yeah, I'm a pass on you. I'm a pass on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, we talked about how great that division was and how it was just let the good times roll, and then December happened.
Yep.
And
Yep. Well, that's what happens.
By the way, if you had the AFC South would have 3 teams in the playoffs with 5 weeks to go in the season, you're the devil.
Are the Titans in?
3, not 4. The Titans
are
the
Colts.
one that's out.
The Colts.
There you go.
There we
7-5 one, not the 4-8 one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure the Tennessee Titans could have made the college football playoff unless they had a very lucrative deal with ESPN, and obviously that's all that matters.
I don't know.
Hey, there's an extra one. Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
Oh, so funny. The Pittsburgh Steelers are absolutely terrible. Kenny Pickett got hurt yesterday, and then Mitch Trubisky had to come in. And, I mean, it's just laughable. The quarterback play for the Pittsburgh Steelers is absolutely laughable.
Well, they have 3 quarterbacks that are exactly the same guy. It just depends on which one's having a good day.
Well, it's just a higher level of suck, right?
Well, I mean, none of them are good.
Right. That's the point. Yet, okay, we got 3 solid options to start games for this team. That's the best compliment that you could come up with for all 3 of them. The biggest category you could put them all in is that they could start a game if we need them to. However, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, probably the grossest collection of quarterbacks since Baker Mayfield and P.J. Walker.
I just want it to be known that we started this season with Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and now we're pulling into the home stretch, and we have Lamar Jackson and Jake Browning and Mitch Trubisky and Joe Falco.
But hey,
if that's evolution, they're going to be playing house plants by week 17. We have this lovely ficus that has a great deep ball arm.
Joe Falco, though, I mean, he's getting a lot of praise for his start with the Cleveland Browns.
Can you explain to me why? Because I can't wrap my brain around it.
Well, because he made 3 good passes in the game.
So Joe Falco was right about 50% completion, and you got your brains beat out by the 6-6 Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you remember that thing I said in the fantasy show of if there's no Denzel Ward, Puka Nacua is about to have a day.
Yes.
And he did.
And he did.
And he won me just a slip of money on the old DraftKings.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, that vaunted historic defense. Now, obviously, there's some injury issues there.
Look, you can't be that bad offensively. All right, I'm really tired of hearing that take that, well, the Browns defense is not as good as we thought it was, or the Jets defense is not as good as we thought it was. When you're on the field constantly, eventually you're gonna wear down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where both of these teams are. The problem is that neither one of you can score. One of you is markedly better at it than the other. And there is a path that Cleveland – I don't really know how I want to finish this sentence because they have 2 games that should be really easy wins, a third that should be a pretty easy one, and I think 10-7 in the AFC is enough to get you in.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the but then you have to go to the playoffs, and I don't know who you're supposed to beat. I really don't.
None of them.
Your only hope is that you line up with Kansas City and they have another one of those, hey, we couldn't catch a cold in a freezer kind of games, and you catch 3 or 4 carom interceptions and 2 of them go back to the house.
Mm-hmm. You don't have much hope when you don't have an offense that can move the ball.
I want to ask another question that really it doesn't have much to do with Browns and Steelers, but we had a large segment here, and the more I've thought about it, can you tell me the great teams in the NFL?
The great teams.
Who's great?
Well, I mean, San Francisco's great.
Their good's really good. That's not what I asked.
Mm-hmm.
I said, who is a great team?
Like historically?
No. Who is a team that you know definitively I can count on what I'm going to get? And why is the answer
none?
Nobody, baby. Nobody, baby.
Let's see where you're going with that. Look, the high side is really high for a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I've also seen you not be good. Like, look at the San Francisco 49ers. They beat the snot out of Philadelphia. They beat the snot out of Dallas, but then they had that 3-week layoff where it was like, oh, you had some injuries, and guess what?
We forgot how to play football.
Right. Philadelphia Eagles. Your offense is good, or your talent is going to be good enough to bail you out of some games, but the scheme is really touch and go.
There are a slew of teams that you can look at and go, your good is really good, but then there's the bad where I go, the hell was that?
Yeah.
Dude, what were we doing there?
Yeah.
Do you realize that right now, how many teams do you think are inside of plus 1,400 to win the Super Bowl right now? By the way, just for posterity's sake, it jumps from 1,400 to plus 5,000. There is nobody in that range.
Huh. I'll say 7?
8.
Okay.
Detroit Lions at plus 1,400. Jaguars at plus 1,000. Ravens at plus 850, which feels like a really good value if you had an extra hundo to drop on something. The Dallas Cowboys at plus 850. Kansas City and Miami at plus 700, Eagles at plus 550, and the 49ers at plus 310, which is the one that right now I would not touch with a 14-foot pole because it's bought down.
Yeah.
You could have gotten that at 3 times that 72 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wide open. I mean, the playoffs are going to be a lot of fun once we get rid of the teams that you probably ought not be here.
Yeah. NFC South champion.
The funny thing about this is one year where I wish we could have expanded the college football playoff by 2 teams, and we could contract the NFL playoffs by I don't know whatever cuts to 8, 6. If we cut 6 teams out of the NFL playoffs, I think we would be hunky dunky
and trade for 2 more in the college football.
Yes, I will give you 6 NFL playoff teams for but merely his team and my team in the CFP.
We just bring that Orange Bowl back into the fold here, just to add another little wrinkle to it all. More on the college football playoff coming up at the top of the hour.
Adam Black is a man of God, and he's really trying to just absolutely drive me bonkers in the chat today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work. Look, here's the thing. I argued this CFP thing all night long. I got tired of it. Do you know how hard you have to argue with somebody on the internet to lose your voice? That's hard to do when you're not actually talking to them. I did it. I did it.
Did you hurt your voice silently screaming at your phone?
There was no silently screaming.
Oh, you were just
I was in the living room by myself, yelling at air.
Oh.
Just, how are you so stupid? And I bet I said that no less than 200 times. I was not directly referring to Adam Black there. I was I kept reading things that I was like, oh my God, common sense ain't common. That's just.
The first thing I was asked this morning when I got to work by Mark Starling was, do you think Jeremy's calmed down yet? And I said, oh, no. Jeremy's not really the one to calm down when he has more time to think about things. He's just thought of more devious ways to make his side correct.
Oh, I did. A Notorious B.I.G.'s already said, this is what happens when you think before you scream. No, I stand by everything I said yesterday. Mm-hmm. You want to find that on our YouTube channel? You can find it. I left it up there for a reason. I stand by every word of it. Now, as I have had 24 hours to digest, I have realized that maybe I was unleashing my anger in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. Not at the wrong people. I was just aiming it in the wrong direction. I was going left, and I should have been going right. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'll do in 31 U.S. minutes.
It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, we'll get just a bit outside. We'll continue with our overreactions from Week 13.
And there's one coming that I'm telling you right now. You're going to listen to the whole segment, and you're going to walk away from it and go, did Jeremy have a stroke at some point? Because I can't believe he just said that out loud. But I'm finna.
He's turned the corner, I believe. We shall see. Up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon, and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Temperatures getting low but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been going to Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt for years. They're fantastic, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who only want the best for their patients. You gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
With all the notifications we get these days, there's one you won't want to miss.
You have a reminder of an upcoming court date in Buncombe County.
Don't miss your day in court. Register today at buncombenc.courtdates.org.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it.
Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday.
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
No, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Now we are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and of course, all of the main news yesterday was all about the college football playoff selection and who's getting in and who's not, but then there's the fallout after that, and after we all seem to be dumbfounded by what happened yesterday. More on that coming up at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. It just feels like all of the other announcements for the day for college football just got washed over, as they should have.
Poor Washington. You chose a bad time to have your best day. It was Friday night. We were all drinking, watching your game by itself. And then Saturday happened, and we forgot you. I've had more people say that Washington should have been left out for Florida State than I can wrap my brain around.
Really?
And I finally got to the point of I can't talk to you anymore, because we're speaking English words, but you're not speaking English. And if you are, it's not coherent.
It's not going the way that we wanted it to. But all the other teams, right, who didn't make college football playoff found out what bowl you're going to.
Woo!
So number 5 Florida State, number 6 Georgia. Jeremy and my team will be facing off in the Orange Bowl.
There's only one way I'm watching that game. I'll tell you what it is later in the show.
And then Carolina got into a bowl game. Nancy State's going to the Pop-Tart Bowl, so they'll get to eat the mascot. And then did you see Notre Dame? Did you see where they ended up?
Nope.
Notre Dame goes from possible college football playoff contender, right? Early in the season, we were talking about, they could crash the party.
I know who they're playing, but I don't know where they're playing.
They are playing in the Sun Bowl.
Woo.
Yeah. And it's not the first time they've ever been in the Sun Bowl. They've had down years before. But to me, the funniest part of it was how they ended up in the Sun Bowl. So their record wasn't good enough to be considered amongst the top teams in the ACC. So they didn't get any of the premier-ish bids that the ACC has. So then they got that next little tier. And there's a story out there, I think I saw it posted on Yahoo. I'm not sure where it originated from, but it was all about the head of the Sun Bowl talking about the experience of we were all sitting in the room waiting on a call from the ACC to tell us who was in our pool. And then, of course, when they said Notre Dame's in your pool, we all freaked out and we all immediately went, that's the one we want. Well, the way this works is everybody else had a shot at him too. So it was the Sun Bowl and the Tony the Tiger Bowl or whatever. There were 3 bowls that had a chance to get Notre Dame. You know how they choose it? It's a random drawing. Just a random-ass drawing, and you can end up hitting a home run as it was the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, and the Sun Bowl. And somehow they drew out Notre Dame going to the Sun Bowl.
Kelvin Joyner with one of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
A draft of non-playoff bowl games. Well, I'd need a day for that because I haven't looked at the list. Not nary a little bit.
No, there's too much.
I saw the 2 playoff matchups and immediately went, nope, I'm out. I don't care. I won't watch it. I don't even kind of care.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an irony that my story is about a non-playoff playoff bowl game. And it comes from Missouri and their coach, Eli Drinkowitz. He's funny, man. They will be playing Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, which personally, an opt-out bowl between Missouri and Ohio State. How many things would I rather watch than that? Paint dry, grass grow, my car depreciate. I'm good. But I will give him credit. He did an interview with Reese Davis on the college football playoff release show, and he might have had the funniest line I've heard in an extended period of time.
Okay.
So they're going through all the minutia of the game, and hey, what a great year for Missouri. And so at the end, he's on a Zoom call, and he says, hey, guys, I got a quick phone call. Connor Stallions is beeping in right here. I'm trying to get a few signals. I got to go, and hung up. That was the only way that bowl was ever getting referenced on this show because I could not care less if I tried. But that was an incredibly funny line.
Mm-hmm.
Notorious B.I.G. said, I will watch every playoff game first to fourth quarter. I will bet you my house that I don't.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of people say, oh, you'll back down on that. I don't think you understand how mad I am. You're getting ready to. And you can tell me all you want to.
I don't have any doubts.
You want to put a childproof lock on my television? Feel free. I do not even kind of care.
I do not have any doubts. And I cannot blame you for it, honestly. Cannot blame you for it. I would be ticked off as well.
To me, you should be ticked off as well.
I'm not, but we'll get there.
I'm going to get to why.
Yes, we will get there. Full reaction on the I'm just going to keep referring to it as the college football playoff screw job coming up at the top of the 1 o'clock hour.
I'm just going to call it the ESPN Invitational. That's my favorite one that I've heard so far.
That's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a whole lot of truth in that name.
Yeah.
All right. Overreaction Monday continues here. Jeremy, you teased right before the break there that you may have changed your mind about something. What would that be, per se?
Well, there was a game last night that I did watch every second of because I was just stewing in my own anger, and it was between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packers have a quarterback that I haven't been overly nice to.
Yeah, and
maybe, just maybe, he is a little better than I thought he was. Now, that's where you're going to think I had the stroke. There was a comma at the end of that, not a period. I don't know if he prays a lot. I don't know if he's maybe a Wiccan witch of some kind. I don't know if he has a Ouija board and he talks to spirits. But that is the luckiest damn dude in the history of creation. And I thought it time after time after time last night. How many times can you throw off your back foot into triple coverage and it just keeps working?
Who knows?
There's a merit to, okay, he knows his arm really well and he trusts his arm and he knows what he can do. But there also has to come a time where you go, but how does this keep happening? He had a pass last night, and I don't remember who caught it. It was a pretty deep shot. He threw it in the middle of 3 Kansas City Chiefs, who had to all completely lose track of the ball.
And they did.
And it hit his receiver in stride. There's a merit to that. I don't know that it's going to end the way you want it to, because I've only seen a handful of quarterbacks in my life that had this same knack. And this is what I've always dinged Jordan Love for. The mechanics are absolutely horrific. I mean, he jumps at times when he throws. There are times it looks like he's going to come out of his shoes. The arm angle is weird. But at some point when it keeps working, you just have to go, okay.
There's talent there.
There was always arm talent. This is exactly what I saw at Utah State. He was playing such a low level of competition that I just thought, oh, he's getting by with it. But when you get to the NFL, that's not going to happen. Well, it's happening. Mm-hmm. It's happening, and it's happening way more often than I would have ever thought. And then you look at the rest of the schedule and realize there's not a game left they should lose. Not one. No. There is not one game left on this schedule they should lose.
No, they don't face another team for the rest of the season that's got a winning record.
Giants, Buccaneers, Panthers, Vikings, Bears. Woof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Woof.
And that, my friends, is what makes a playoff team. I mean, if Jordan Love's going to keep pulling throws out of his keister like he was last night, the one, and I know you don't listen a lot with the sound on, so you may not have heard the officials. I think it's the same throw you're talking about where he threw it. If he was in a dome, he'd have hit the lights. And
That's
then
the one
it
I'm talking
comes
about.
right back down and just kind of falls into the guy in between all of these defenders. And it might have been Kurt. I don't remember who it was that said it, but somebody said, it's like he's playing cornhole, and he just floated it and just luck of the draw. There it was, wound up right in the guy's hands. And I went, that is terrible.
I went back to my evaluation of Jordan Love just to see, because there was a line in my head that I thought I had written about him, and I just wanted to make sure I was right before I said it, and I did. I said when he came out, he might be the best 7-on-7 quarterback I've ever seen, because he does have an innate ability to do what it is we just said. Here's the thing I don't understand, and I don't understand why this has been so hard for teams to figure out, and Steve Spagnuolo got annihilated by it last night. Just play zone.
Mm-hmm.
Just play zone. Don't ever play man against this kid. This kid is a magician, cornhole thrower, whatever you want to call him, when your back's turned. Because he can take off and run, he can manipulate the receiver, and these young receivers have they're really good at showing late hands, which is they don't put their hands up to catch a ball until it's right there in the cradle, so the defender doesn't have an opportunity to react. It's really kind of a perfect storm. Where this falls apart is when you see his splits against zone versus his splits against man. The thing I don't understand is, why do people keep playing man against him? He eats it alive. He is better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think he is a franchise quarterback? No. Do I see it in the offing that Green Bay is about to go full Dixie Chicks? It's wide open spaces, room to make the big mistake and give him a bajillion dollars. Also, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is one of those times that winning and success may not be your best friend.
Do you do this? Do you do it before it's necessary?
You
right,
have
because
to.
they already gave him the.
They gave him the year, but you can't go in with a lame duck year at quarterback. You got all these young receivers. This is basically the same thing with Daniel Jones, just a year ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to be bad enough to get a quarterback. If he can do this, even if he's doing it against bad defenses, which last night was not a bad defense, it was a bad called defense, which I'll get to in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a bad defense. If you can do this, there is a merit. There is a merit to what you're doing. And Kelvin Joyner asked, what would a fair contract look like? 4 years, $40 million a year. That's what he's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you anything you want. It's what he's going to get, and he will get it this offseason because he has done enough that as hard as it is to find quarterbacks in this league, and now I'm understanding a little better what it was that Green Bay Packer fans were saying, because I've looked around the rest of the landscape going, okay, would I rather play the Baker Mayfield game or have Jordan Love? It's Jordan Love.
Yep.
Would I rather play the Justin Fields game or Jordan Love? It's Jordan Love. Would I rather play the Daniel Jones game or Jordan Love? And I did this, and I got to about 15 different scenarios, and I went, oh, I get it now. He's in that 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 range. On the high side, he can be a little better than that. On the low side, he can be a little worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I have a quarterback that will keep me competitive enough as he keeps accelerating. Do I ever think he's going to be great? No, I don't. I think as time goes on, NFL teams are going to figure out exactly what I saw. And I didn't even watch the game film of this. I watched the live broadcast feed and went, this defense is going to be screaming at each other. Completely dumbfounded they let this guy do this to them. But he was special at times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, The other side of that game, there is, I think, now officially a reason to be legit worried about Kansas City.
I would agree.
They're not very good.
I would agree.
That team is just flat out not very good. The thing that you're very lucky of is that your division is awful. Awful. Who's the second best team in the AFC West right now?
Denver?
I would say the Raiders, but either way, there was no consensus. AFC East, Buffalo. AFC North, Cleveland. AFC South, Houston. AFC West. It could be. The Chargers are the most talented, but Denver's playing the best. But the Raiders are really playing with some heart. Oh, okay. You're going to win that division in a walk. I'm just not sure who you're going to beat.
In the playoffs.
Like if I feel like Jacksonville's going to win the AFC South. If Houston comes into Kansas City, that team is so young, they don't even know what they don't know. Would you be shocked if Houston went in there and beat Kansas City? Because I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't.
No, I would not. Because here's the thing: you have to score points, right? Yeah, and you have to do it consistently, and that's something that Kansas City cannot do right now, because you just don't have the.
You don't have the weapons.
You don't have the firepower that you did.
And
even before, it wasn't the greatest, right? Even last year, you didn't have the Tyreek Hill, the superstar.
And I saw the play last night that was the play that was the undoing for me. Was I've officially gotten to the point with Andy Reid where your creativeness, I'm starting to see as a negative.
Creativity, yes.
Whatever.
I'm keeping you on the
There are certain words in the English language we don't want Jeremy saying today. Correcting him on the ones that are not on that list is a good way to get that list to come out. Okay. I thought about wearing a shirt today that said, if you're within arm's reach, you're in danger. Because I am not in a very good mood. I just don't think you have the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And last night they ran this, and it's almost hard for me to even explain. It was basically a counter with Kadarius Toney out of the backfield, and Isaiah Pacheco was the lead blocker. And I just watched it and went, that feels like a desperate play. 2 years ago, we would have looked at it and gone, oh, look how creative it is. Now it's, man, you are really having to work to move this football. You are really having to work hard and get really creative to just consistently put up first downs.
Because I don't really scare you throwing the ball, right? Patrick Mahomes scares you as a quarterback, but the weapons you can't trust, and we know that he can't trust them, it's a massive problem. And here's the problem, you can't fix it. There's nothing you can do to fix it now. You're stuck.
Oh,
and because of all of this, I feel like Travis Kelce is, I mean, he hasn't been the go-to for several weeks now.
I don't think he's 100%.
And there's something wrong there. Is it an injury thing? Is it just that he's getting too much attention because nobody trusts anybody else? He still has those moments where he finds the hole in the defense, but it's not like it used to be.
No. And the bad thing is that you're going to have to go into Baltimore, or you're going to have to go into Jacksonville, or you're going to have to go into Miami and beat these teams, because I don't really see a path that they're going to be any better than 3.
Yep.
Jacksonville doesn't really have losable games left.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's just keep winning, and you're kind of behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have breaking news.
I love breaking news because it allows me to dance.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I don't say what I'm getting ready to say lightly. I also don't say it with a clear, concise voice because mine is shot. Apparently, Stephen A. Smith just said that the Florida State Seminoles would have made it to the playoff if they had Coach Prime. And ladies and gentlemen, we have officially, it's here. We have teased this. We have said this. I know we've all said it. I say it on a daily basis. People say dumb things to me, and I go, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. It is right now at 12:52 Eastern Time, right here on the East Coast of the United States of America, that we can all look at each other and go, we have officially heard the stupidest thing that anybody has ever uttered out of their mouth in the English language. And it was today, and it was that.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. More reaction coming up after the top of the hour. Take a quick break. When we come back, Jeremy will give you his picks for the night and Monday Night Football.
The Ingalls Advantage isn't just about savings or the best quality food for your family. It's more than that. It's the advantage of being a part of a community. That's why we provide over 2 million pounds of food every year through regular donations and programs like the Ingalls Giving Tree, Food for Thought, and the Ingalls Fill a Backpack program. It's the right thing to do, and we know that you would do the same. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just send them a text.
Text VALUE to 323232 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add your retirement fund. It's up to you. Just text VALUE to 323232 right now to see if you qualify. Text the word VALUE to 323232. Text VALUE to 323232 now.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford. Worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
You've been miserable with joint pain for so long. You want and deserve relief, but you keep putting off that call to QC Kinetics. Now's the time because QC Kinetics is rolling out something huge. It's a voucher for $500 off your first joint pain treatment. Whether it's your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, the QC Kinetics voucher applies to any area. This is a limited time offer. QC Kinetics is the largest regenerative clinic in the country with tens of thousands of satisfied patients who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Reach out to the team at QC Kinetics today and ask them, how can I get a $500 off voucher? They'll walk you through the steps and get you started on your way to relief. Don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Call for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, 828-333-9517. Limited time only, not valid with any other offer.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Monday Night Football. And this sounded really good in September. And it's not quite what we thought it was going to be. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Cincinnati Bengals travel to Duval. They are a 10-point dog tonight at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over-unders 40. I'm going to be honest. I reserve double-digit numbers for good teams hosting really bad teams. I don't think Cincinnati's really bad. This number's too high. It's also too high because I don't think there's going to be that many points scored tonight. This feels like a 20-13 game that Cincinnati has a shot late and Jake Browning does that thing that backup quarterbacks do and throws a horrific interception. I'm taking Cincinnati plus the 10. I'm going much more aggressively on under the 40. I don't see a lot of points tonight, and I don't really see a way that it's going to happen. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingalls. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
All right, it is almost time. We'll take a quick break.
It's here.
When we come back, CFP reactions.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon, and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average, with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday, with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. RJ Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back.
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app and the Sportsocracy seen everywhere in the Ingalls studio. On YouTube, go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat and get your thoughts in on the CFP screw job. College Football Playoff Committee yesterday releasing all of the matchups, right? The top four. Who just missed? We were watching live. We streamed it on YouTube yesterday. You can go back and see the video on our stream.
If you want the unfiltered version, that's the one you're looking for.
We cannot play any of that on FCC-controlled airwaves
Not
because
one
Jeremy
sentence.
was just absolutely livid, and I cannot disagree with the anger. I completely understand where you're coming from. You should be ticked off. Every Florida State fan right now should be mad because you have told us for years if we do everything in our power as a Power 5 team and beat everybody on our schedule, then we are in. It's an automatic bid. That's always been the case.
That's the fair argument.
It is the fair argument.
I don't do fair. Fair happens one time a year. It shows up at the Ag Center in your town. It has Ferris wheels, funnel cakes, and clowns. And if that's the argument that you're trying to give, you look like the latter. I'm not playing the fair argument. I'm not. Here's what I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
The unbelievable inconsistency. Let me ask you a question. I value you to be a smartman.
Thank you.
And you know college football. Who are the 4 best teams in college football right now?
4 best teams in college football.
Your opinion. I'm not asking for any. I don't need any analytics. I don't need any justification. Your ohos watching football tells you the 4 best teams in college football are who?
Michigan, Georgia, Washington, and Alabama.
Okay. I don't disagree with you in any way. I don't disagree with what you said in any way. Unfortunately, that's not what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you another question. Who is the best team in college football right now? And you can use any metric that you want. You can use the eye test. You can use the resume. You can use whatever you want.
I believe it's Michigan.
I don't believe it's Michigan. If it's resume, then it's Washington because they have clearly the best resume, which is why they're 2. If it's on eye test, I'm still not sure that it's not Georgia. If it's not Georgia, it's Alabama because that's the only team that's beaten them. I could also pass the eye test that Washington was so good against Oregon that I could make it them. Here's what I can't do. I can't go on resume. I can't go on eye test. I can't go on any of it to get Texas into this playoff. None of it. Now, that leads to the question of, well, then why is Texas here? Because you could not have Texas out and Alabama in, which tells me that the 13 of you that got into this room have a little problem that's usually best solved by a good old-fashioned Viagra because you don't have no huevos.
Oh.
Because that's what you didn't want to do. You couldn't leave Alabama out. And you know what? I'm going to try to be a big man here and say to the Alabama fans that were listening to our stream yesterday, I apologize if maybe my vitriol was aimed at you because I have no problem that Alabama's in this. I really don't. You lost to Texas. That is a categoric fact. That is like saying it is Monday. That is like saying the sky's blue, grass is green, and water's wet. You lost to Texas. That has to count for something. I get it. What I told all of you from the first release of this poll is you have painted yourself into a corner, and there is absolutely no way for you to come out of this unless you get smart between now and week 14. You didn't. Here's why I say that. So the argument now is that Florida State was kept out because their quarterback was a third-string quarterback in a championship game. Okay. Well, you do get that quarterback's not who would play in the playoff. It'd be Tate Rodemaker. And, you know, if only we knew, if only we could possibly have known what you thought about that because you put out rankings every week. Wouldn't that be such an absolute act of God? Oh, wait, you do. And you already said Florida State was better than Texas and Florida State was better than Alabama. Alabama goes in and gets a big win. Okay, put them in. I don't care. I officially do not care. You put Florida State at 4. You said going into the conference championship game that was one of the 4 best teams in the country. They did absolutely nothing to change that. But they only had 220 yards offense. So did Michigan. The team you put at 1 and said that's the best team in the country. I don't care who you put in. Just be some form of consistent instead of being 13 morons, including one that's a grown man named Boo.
0 lies in any of that. And you're absolutely right. You can't tell me that we ended up with the 4 most deserving teams.
You can't tell me we wound up with the 4 anything.
Exactly.
There is no adjective that you can put into this and say you did anything.
I don't know. No, there is. I think there is. And I think the only one, or the closest one that I can come to, is that we ended up with the 4 biggest brands that we could sell.
Washington's a bigger brand than Florida State.
You couldn't. Well, no.
Sell that to me, I dare you.
You couldn't. But there was also no way that you could put Florida State in over Washington. You couldn't have argued that.
I agree. I also firmly believe there's no way you could have put Texas in over Florida State. Alabama's not the one that I have a qualm with. Because, and here's why. Because you said that what happened earlier in the season doesn't matter. Resume doesn't matter. You said that, not me. This was your claim, is that the resume doesn't matter. It's who are the 4 best teams right now. Did you watch Texas over the last month? Your claim to fame here is that you beat an Oklahoma State team. Now, let me just because my name's on the door and I'm allowed to, let me tell you a couple things about this Oklahoma State team. That win was so good. Oh, good God, we must put Texas in. Do you understand that they were down 24-6 to a BYU team that's not even bowl eligible at home? That was 2 weeks ago. They got beat 45-3 by Central Florida, and that's the win that you're telling me is so good? You had Florida State ahead of them last week. Last week. Not 6 weeks ago, not 6 months ago, not in the preseason. 7 damn days ago, you said this team was better than Texas. They beat an inferior team. Florida State, Louisville is better than Oklahoma if you have an IQ above salad dressing. They beat the better team, and then because you had to get Alabama in and you had run yourself into this corner, you had to screw Florida State. There is absolutely nothing about that makes sense. If you had come out, if Boo Corrigan had sat in front of that committee, sat in front of that camera, and said, you know what? We think these are the 4 best teams, and here is why. That is not what he did. That is not what he did under any circumstances. If you had come out and said, we don't want to have a Florida State team that's playing their backup quarterback, playing in this because we got embarrassed last year by TCU and had to do media buybacks because the sponsors were so pissed that that game was that bad, I would have even respected that. I would have thought you were a Neanderthal that was 100% run by the money, and that's not who should be picking this, but at least I would have respected it. You take the team with the weakest resume, which is Michigan, and it's not close. Your second best win is over a team that can't score, and you made them 1. Why? Because that's your opinion. Well, here's the thing, and I learned this from a very early age. Opinions are like keister holes, and most of them stink. And this one stunk to absolutely the end of the world. And you will never convince me that it doesn't. If you had followed any rational train of thought, and now let me, I'm not looking at the comments because I willfully did not want to be sidetracked here because I willfully know that I will say something I'm not allowed to if I get sidetracked. I'm not telling you Florida State, as they sit, is one of the 4 best teams in the country. What I'm telling you is that they have hit everything in front of them. They have been told they were one of the top 4 teams in the country. Your opinion, not mine. Your opinion. They were one of the top 4 teams in the country, and they did absolutely nothing to change that. They went into a neutral site in a conference championship game and absolutely dominated a team that is pretty good. Not great. They're not a great team. Louisville's not a great team. Guess what? Neither is Oklahoma State. If you wanted to let Alabama in, that's fine. Grow a pair. Put Alabama in, say they had the best win, and be done with it. Now, Adam Black earlier today said, I wouldn't have this same gumption if it wasn't my team. Let me just tell you, A, that's not true. And nothing I've done over the course of 4 years would make you think that. I can get mad about anything. I'm not sure Georgia doesn't have a better case than Florida State does. I'm not sure Georgia doesn't have a better case than Florida State does. They told you, in spite of you beating nobody, none of it mattered. You were the best team in the country. You lost to a team that they value to be one of the best teams in the country, and you were a complete afterthought. You were the team that we didn't even acknowledge you. We put you on the screen beforehand because you were so far away that it didn't matter. Here's what you've done in all effect. You have basically told me that the regular season doesn't matter. There's another sport that did that. If you recall, I told you a long time ago, there's another sport that did that same thing. It was Major League Baseball. Weird. Over time, this died. Now, let me tell you, I've been pretty good, I think, historically calling what was going to happen in college football. I was ahead of the NIL thing. I was ahead of the transfer portal. I've been ahead of every bit of this because I'm not a moron. And I know that if you give 18-year-old kids full autonomy to do anything they want to, they're going to take advantage of it, which is exactly what's happening right now because there's no parameters on this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what you just did. You basically said the Big Ten and the SEC is all that matters. That's it. And the irony that it was Boo Corrigan, who is affiliated with NC State, basically just signed his own death certificate because Florida State and Clemson will do everything in their power to get out of the ACC. And I'm not sure it won't happen within the next 12 months. I can tell you definitively there have been emails sent, there have been conversations had of we've got to raise $150 million to get out of this conference. They don't have our back, and we don't have theirs. Florida State and Clemson's the only thing keeping this conference afloat. Well, what'd you just do? Mm-hmm. You told them both, you can do everything in your power and still get left out. And we're going to a 12-team thing. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to a 12-team thing next year. You would be in. That's all well and good. It's psychological, brother. You just told the two big boys on the block that no matter how big you get, you're never going to be the baddest cat on the planet. And guess what that does to big, bad, type A personalities? Okay, well, let me go play with them because you're doing nothing for me. So the ACC, take a real good look at the Pac-12 because you're next.
Mm-hmm.
You're next. They lost their big boys, and everything fell apart in no time. No time. And now you've got a big boy on the block that you basically just said we have no oversight whatsoever. None. Pat McAfee said this 4 years ago. It's more true today than it was yesterday, and it'll be more true tomorrow than it was today. The NCAA is dying a slow, grim death. It's been 20, 30, 40 decisions over the course of time that have absolutely killed your product. It has absolutely killed people's ability to enjoy your product. Does it still get ratings? Absolutely, because it's football. And we could put a ficus in your place, and guess what? You still draw 15 million people a week. You know why? Because your product's that good.
Mm-hmm.
But the big boys with money, they're looking around going, man, this is a bad look. Man, Florida State fans are real angry. Man, those advertisers are probably not going to love this number because we could have two blowouts. We could be in the exact same spot we were last year. We look like morons.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, don't be shocked when the Ohio States and the Michigans and the Florida States and the Clemsons and the Texas and the Oklahoma and all of them band together and go, hey, remind me again why we need Ole Miss. Hey, remind me again why we need Mississippi State. Hey, remind me again why we need South Carolina. Hey, remind me again why we need Duke. Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't. We don't. We don't need them. There are 20 programs in this country that could form their own conference where they just played each other, and guess what? You wouldn't watch another Carolina football game for the rest of your life. You wouldn't watch another Memphis football game. You wouldn't watch another Houston Cougar football game. You wouldn't watch another BYU football game. You wouldn't watch another Oregon Duck or Oregon State Beaver game for the rest of your life. And you're set up for this. And all you just did was take one of the 10 power brokers and really, really upset them.
Mm-hmm.
And deservedly so. Because you didn't have the huevos to say Texas is not one of the 4 best teams in this country. They have one of the best wins. They have one of the best wins. I'm not disputing that. Oklahoma has one of the best wins too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the rest of the resume, it just don't add up. But you had to get Alabama in there. And you're not wrong. Alabama deserved to be there.
I don't feel like it was just Alabama. You had to get the SEC in there, right? And you couldn't put 2 of them in. Because I'll be honest with you, after I watched the SEC championship game, I came away feeling like that was 2 of the best teams in the country.
And I can't tell you you're wrong.
And right now, I still feel that way. I still feel Michigan is 1. I feel like they are that dominant, and I get what you say about, and look great and the resume's not awesome. That's a pretty awesome team.
In the comments now that I'm here and I can look at things to make sure I don't say falafel real loud. I've been asked a couple times, what would my top 4 have been? Washington would have been my 1 because Washington earned it more than anybody else did.
Okay.
Michigan would have been my 2. Alabama would have been my 3. And Florida State would have been my 4. Georgia would have been my 5, and Texas would have been my 6. And the only way I can rationale that is Georgia had the opportunity to play their way in. Because had Georgia won, they would have been in.
No doubt.
Florida State would have played their way in. Michigan played their way in. Washington played their way in.
Yep.
Texas had a 14-week schedule where you had 1 impressive win and 1 conference title. End of message, repeat the line. But because that 1 win was over Alabama, and we cannot separate the transitive property, you had to be in. It was a weak move. It will be a weak move for the rest of my life. And when Texas gets beat 52-6 by Washington, don't be surprised when I really loudly tell you I told you so.
Yeah. As a Georgia fan, I feel like I owe you an apology, Jeremy. I really do. If we'd have just taken care of business, none of this would have happened.
I'm not mad at any of the teams. I said this in the stream yesterday. I'm not mad at any of the teams in this.
You shouldn't be. You should be mad
I'm
at
not
the
mad
committee.
at Alabama. Alabama did exactly what they needed to. They weren't a very good team in week 1. They're a very good team right now. And that is basically what the committee said, is that we want to see who the teams are that are the best teams in the country. Well, here's the thing. Nobody with an IQ above a fish bowl thinks that the Texas Longhorns are better than Georgia. You don't. You don't. You might tell me you do, but you're lying. You are 100% lying. And now there's another part of this that I just have to attend to because it's really irked me all day long. Well, Florida State would get boat raced by Alabama or Texas or Washington. How do I say this delicately? No, they wouldn't. Washington has struggled in pass pro all year. Texas has struggled in pass pro all year. You know what those games would have been? Low scoring and not fun to watch. And if you don't think that played a role in it, I got a bridge to sell you. Florida State had 25 all-ACC selections. First team, second team, third team. Go back to Peter Warwick, go back to Bobby Bowden, go back to Chris Winkie, go back to Charlie Ward. How many Florida State teams have ever done that? 0. That's the answer. Not 1. Not nary a time. It's never happened. You just told one of the most talented teams in the history of the ACC. Did they blow people out? No. They didn't blow people out with Jordan Travis. They didn't blow people out after him. That doesn't change. That's one of the 4 most talented teams in the country. And I'd bet my house they're more talented than Texas. But thank God Texas scheduled Alabama. And you know what? Steve Sarkisian should send a really nice flower bouquet to Nick Saban. Because the only reason you're not playing in the Cotton Bowl is because of Nick Saban. You chose a good day to have a good day. Win with some grace. But you don't deserve to be here, and you know it just as well as I do.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
I have lots of fragrance lovers on my list, and Ulta Beauty has all I need to add joy to their holiday season. Shop your favorite fragrances from YSL, Carolina Herrera, Valentino, and Ariana Grande's new exclusive Cloud Pink scent. Plus, with a fragrance purchase of $70 or more, get a plush robe or throw, valued at $70, while supplies last. Shop the gifts that bring joy to everyone on your list this holiday season, especially you. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
How about that, committee? Yeah. Take off the bra. Be a man. Own up to it. Just be honest. Just come out and say, Florida State, we saw the first half of that game. Because I did. And I thought the same thing that I think everybody in that committee room thought too. That was terrible football, and I'm not putting that on a national scale.
But the part of that that's so stupid is that was a third-string quarterback that wouldn't have been playing in the first place. If that's what held them out, then you're all morons.
Well,
because you're playing the third. I got news for you. I've already seen Alabama's third stringer. It led to you struggling like hell with South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe take those stones and put them back in your pocket. And Tate Rodemaker was not great in the first half of a rivalry game.
Yeah. That and that's what I was
because if we're
say.
going down that path, Jalen Milroe was horrible against Auburn.
Sure.
So
no doubt.
Sorry, I can combat every single thing you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is why you couldn't have just come out and did exactly what I did. Look directly in the camera, give the impassioned plea, you have a vote, I don't. Why could you not do that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you have to sit here and spit mouth words memory times of Boo Corrigan trying to explain something that I'm not sure he even fully understood? Listening to him talk, I felt like they handed him a slip of paper and patted him on the head and said, "Hey, go say that.
Good luck.
Hey, go say that, there, dum-dum.
Yeah.
Hey, we gave you a hot meal and let you sit at the head of the table. Meanwhile, you didn't do squat."
Yeah. Good luck on the spin machine there, Boo. Meanwhile, you've got the ACC commissioner, right, Jim Phillips, that if he's got a backbone, he's got to be all up in Boo Corrigan's business today of what was that. Right.
The ACC's got to be sitting around going, "You just killed us."
Absolutely.
You just killed us.
Absolutely. Because now Clemson and Florida State have no other choice.
Oh, it's not just Clemson and Florida State. It's Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, North Carolina, any of the ones that have big boy money. Because you got to be looking at NC State, you got to be looking at Georgia Tech, you got to be looking at Syracuse and Boston College. You don't care nearly as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we're tired of getting left out of this. Because that 12-team playoff, I'm going to be really honest with you. Do you know what it would look like right now? Because to the best of my knowledge, there has been no cap put on how many teams a conference can have. You looked at the top 13?
Bunch of SEC teams, I'm sure.
Top 13 is Big Ten, SEC, and Florida State. That's it.
Yep.
There's not another team in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and, I ran out of time there, so I didn't have the opportunity to say the other thing that I wanted to say, which was if you look, and now I understand this is a myopic part of this. This is a short segment, that's why I wanted to bring it up. Liberty got the group of 5 spot.
Okay, undefeated in their conference.
That's dumb. Would you like to hear the list of schools in America that played FBS college football that played a worse schedule than Liberty? Would you like to hear it again? Meanwhile, SMU actually went out and played a big boy that they didn't have to play.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Oklahoma. I get it. Oklahoma's better than them. Oklahoma would beat Liberty 85-0, and you know it as well as I do. That was another part of this that drove me crazy. It's okay, so wait a minute. The resume doesn't matter because that's what you told me.
Unless.
It doesn't matter unless it's something we can hide at the bottom and go, well, Liberty's got more money. It's close, don't get me wrong. But Liberty's got more money in the program. They'll probably sell more tickets. Liberty will get demolished. I don't even know who they're playing, and I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care.
No, Oregon.
Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat you. They're backups because there will be no Bo Nix. There will be no Troy Franklin. There will be none of the guys that are going to get drafted. And Oregon will still beat you 80-0. If that's what they choose to do. They might pull the dogs back and only beat you 55-0.
Right.
It's just inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a lane. Does the resume matter? Does the eye test matter? Stop trying to cobble this together and then polish a big poo ball and try to explain to me why it's a diamond. Because it's not, and I know it's not, and you know it's not.
Yep. But Michigan, Alabama, that is the
Rob Johnson
the
said,
Rose Bowl game.
Well, Rob Johnson and Andrew Ayers collectively said Texas is a 4-point favorite over Washington. I'm well aware of that because I have a sizable wager on Washington. Just throwing it out there.
Yep. Wow. Are they? I hadn't even looked at the lines for the games. Other than to see that Georgia would be a 14.5-point favorite over Florida.
Who cares?
State
Keon Coleman's already opted out. Johnny Wilson's already opted out. Trey Benson's already opted out. Great. You're going to beat our backups. It proves absolutely nothing. But I can't wait for the dum-dums to go, see, they got beat by Georgia. Yeah, because every player that was going into the draft opted out.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, Tulane beat USC last year. Do you think they're better?
Better yet.
Boise State beat Oklahoma years ago. Were they better?
Better yet, watch Georgia end up playing nobody as well because none of their guys are going to play.
No.
And you'll win that game. Somehow, some way.
I don't know. You got more.
End up winning that game.
Georgia's got more people returning than Florida State. Which, trust me, I haven't forgotten that. There's still an hour and a half left to go, and there's a segment at the end of the show that feels pretty apt for me to be perturbed.
Ooh. It's got more in there, as you should. I am still dumbfounded.
Oh, the segment I just did, I've already clipped out. It's going up on YouTube as soon as the show's up.
Yeah.
So if you missed any part of it, feel free to go to our social medias, type in the Sportsocracy, and it'll be right there on the homepage.
Yep. I'm still shocked that they did it, but they did it, and here's the thing. You did it in a way where you couldn't even convince us that you did it right. Nope. Right? It would have been one thing if you could have if you could have said, all right, these are the 4 best teams, or these are the 4 most deserving teams. But you chose neither. Nope. You chose what you thought was the path of least resistance. Of, we got to get the SEC in, so we're putting Alabama in. Oh, crap. That means we have to put Texas in because that fan base and that money will get crazy if we don't do that because they beat Alabama. Well, Florida State sucks. Did you not see that ACC championship game? 55 yards passing offense? That's how we solve this. I mean, you were the sacrificial lamb, and everybody was wrong at every stage of this. All of them. The 13 in the room got it wrong.
No doubt. And Adam Black in our YouTube comment said the BCS would have had Michigan, Washington, Alabama, and Florida State. Yeah, I looked that up yesterday as well. And I would have had no qualm there.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any qualm that Georgia's not in it. You had your shot. You win. You get in. I'm not mad that we're not in it. I'm mad that Florida State got left out of it.
I'm mad that they looked at us and said the 4 best teams got in, and the team that you've told me all year long was the best team in the country got left out.
Yep.
It's just inconsistent. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard. Mm-hmm. Pick a lane, stick to it.
Yep.
But who's shocked? The NCAA screwed up again.
You're in the Sportsocracy. And this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon, and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With a Chalupa Supreme beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 cravings box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Have your outdoors and running water too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Loos are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLoosRental.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow. Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just send them a text.
Text VALUE to 323232 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add your retirement fund. It's up to you. Just text VALUE to 323232 right now to see if you qualify. Text the word VALUE to 323232. Text VALUE to 323232 now.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It's ESPN Asheville. And, you know, what would this segment be without a story from Florida? Let's go to St. Petersburg, Florida, where just 2 days ago was a man arrested, and he is charged with battery. Spousal abuse, not funny, obviously. This situation, though, I mean, it kind of is. 61-year-old Ray Allen and his wife, 64 years old, got into an argument. At some point during the argument, Ray Allen got violent, and he struck her with a sausage. Apparently, during the argument, he picked up a sausage. It doesn't say what kind of sausage. Like, was this like a Johnsonville bratwurst sausage, or was this like straight from the deli sausage? We don't know. At some point, he threw it, and according to the police report, it hit her in the side of the face. And I guess she called 911, and emergency crews had to come out to rinse her eye out with a saline solution. This has got to be the weirdest battery claim I think I've ever seen. That you were slapped in the face with a sausage. And you had to call emergency crews to wash your eye out, I guess because of the grease? You didn't have some Visine handy or something? You could have taken care of that on your own? This guy was charged with misdemeanor battery and will face charges. No shocker here. Alcohol said to be involved. in the incident which occurred at 2:50 in the afternoon. A little day drinking, a little sausage assault. It's weird, just weird.
I just told you that the NCAA is dumb.
Yep.
If you are watching us on YouTube, you can see that we've got a couple Florida State themed shirts that are in our merch store. Free shipping this week. Just use promo code ROBBED, including for the one that says falafel the NCAA, but it's the word that I can't say on the show.
The other one.
Not only did they screw up who they put in the playoff, they also screwed up something as simple as a football toss. I don't know if you're watching the Big 12 championship, but we had two students, Ryan and Gavin, and they did that thing that we do every single year. Why we can't come up with something more creative than this? Because I think they've been doing this since I was in elementary school. I vaguely remember watching this when I was in like the 5th grade.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Have you ever noticed that the kids' ability to throw a football has gotten worse now they just chest pass it?
Yep.
Like, okay, can we not find two kids that can throw a football? It's not that hard.
It's actually the smartest way to do it.
Is it, though?
Yeah, you got way more control with two hands and chest pass than you do with trying to overhand throw.
I guess you do. I guess you do.
Especially considering the arms of some of these kids.
Okay, all right. You got old Preston pocket protector here. I guess I do see your point that, well, you'll probably drop it back and throw it at Peyton Manning style is not going to work.
Yeah, no.
Well, this was in the Big 12 championship game at halftime. Ryan and Gavin, they both scored 10 points in regulation. Or did they? Apparently, the scoreboard operator for old Ryan was a little intoxicated because he only had 9. And then he scored another one after the clock expired.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they had a sudden death playoff, and they both scored 6, which led to sudden death.
All right.
Unless you watch the tape and realize that not only did one of Ryan's go in as the clock expired, depends on I didn't go frame by frame, but it looks like it went in.
It was close.
Yeah. He also only hit 5 of them. They gifted him one. And then he wound up winning. I call shenanigans on the whole thing. Everything NCAA related. Shenanigans.
It's shenanigans.
The season doesn't count. 2023 national champion Florida State Seminoles.
Just like when we did the COVID
the year
thing.
of Ruxin.
Yeah. When we did the COVID thing. He didn't. Yeah. 2020 national champions. No, you can't claim this one. Cannot claim this one.
Oh, it won't stop me from doing it.
I saw 3 of those this weekend, the little Dr. Pepper halftime show thing. All of them were terrible, and I've also noticed how they've just completely tapped out on just even trying to make it interesting broadcast-wise. Like, remember, they used to have the play-by-play guys would be in on it, and they would do, like, a legitimate play-by-play. Now they just have some random, like, host or reporter down there that goes, hey, here's these 2 guys, and they're going to go for the next 60 seconds, see how many they can hit. And then not another word is said for 60 seconds. And like, who's winning? I can't see the little screen on the – stop it.
It's so bad.
Terrible. It's awful.
It's so bad.
It's awful. And now no one cares.
It's so bad.
It's very, very bad. All right, let's see here.
Our buddy Chris Womack from WLOS,
yes,
who is an Alabama fan, said he also agrees with my on-air take. We had some back and forth yesterday. I apologize for what I said when I was mad.
Did you hurt his feelings?
No, not him. I did some people, and for that, I'm sorry.
Aha.
Now, if I called you a three expletive slash adjective bad word, that I may not apologize for. Because if you brought that out of me, you said you went full Dumbman.
Yes. Nice.
And a few people did. Chris Womack was not one of them. He had a very concise point that I just so happened to vehemently disagree with.
And what was that?
That they had put in the 4 best teams that were actually out there. And I just don't agree with that. Texas has done nothing to prove that.
Yeah.
I also don't believe Michigan's done anything to prove they're the best team in the country. Washington's proven it time and time and time again. If that's how you want to go, just streamline it. That's all I'm asking for.
Yep. Officials
and committees, just be consistent, okay? If it's pass interference in the first quarter, it's pass interference in the fourth quarter. Kansas City officials looking right at you.
Yesterday, that was all the drama that we needed to start the day. And
well, in one game. You talk about the grossest set of games, and I feel like I've said this 6 out of the 13 weeks of the season. Just good God, that was awful.
What?
Were you watching the Red Zone yesterday in the 1 o'clock window?
Yes.
Do you know how bad it makes you feel about the NFL to be watching rain delay Cardinals Steelers? Ugh, why can the Steelers not score? And the Cardinals are just, they look better than you in your house. Oh, the Miami Dolphins have scored again. It's 643-2. Now let's go live to New York for the They Can't Score Bowl between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets, and not to be one-upped, the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots in a game that set football back 60 years.
6-0.
Lou Holtz watched that game and went, you know, this would be a lot better if one of you could actually throw the football. I spent many years running the triple option, and even that was more conducive in the passing game than anything here has been.
Right. It was not the greatest of 1 o'clock slates.
Oh, it was awful.
No.
And you got an official's leg broken in like 43 places.
I missed that. When did that happen?
It was in the Saints game. It was Gnarls Barkley. Ooh. By the way, if you want to know the difference between a regular man and an NFL man, watch the reaction of that official who genuinely looked like his leg had been cut off. His reaction was, oh, my God, I've never felt the pain like this. Meanwhile, I saw 2 different dudes just obliterate legs, and they're just sitting on the cart like, oh, shoot.
This hurts.
This hurts. Meanwhile, the official looks like he's in Sin of a Woman, just sitting there going,
no doubt.
Stella!
No doubt about it.
That wasn't Sin of a Woman, was it?
Mm-mm.
Which one was Stella? Sin of a Woman was Hooah.
Stella was Streetcar Named Desire.
That's it.
That's
it.
Marlon Brando.
That's it. Yeah. I confused my movies that I've never seen.
I was going to say, if you tell me right now you've seen A Streetcar Named Desire, I will give you $100.
I will give you $1 if you could tell me why I knew either of those 2 references.
Family Guy.
Seinfeld, you were close.
Damn! It's either Family Guy or Seinfeld.
I watched the Stella episode of Seinfeld at like 3 o'clock this morning, just sitting there so mad I couldn't even go to sleep. My eyes are angry and they won't close.
And again, it is all completely justified. Yeah, it was pretty nasty yesterday, some of the games. The Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos, though. I mean, that was a game that went down to the wire. Russell Wilson had a chance to win it at the end, but Houston Texans forcing the turnover, the interception in the end zone to close out the game, 22-17. Now the Texans go to 7-5, breaking the 5-game winning streak of the Denver Broncos. And the Texans just keep on climbing, right?
I mean, look, the Texans are really good, and this week they get the New York Football Jets, which at the end of the segment I have a breaking news story about my Jets that is just...
Oh, God.
Every time you think it can't get worse, it gets worser.
C.J. Stroud and company, though, this is a legit team that nobody wants to play right now, and I don't think you want to play them for the next 7 years.
I do need somebody to explain to me how they thought using Tank Dell as a lead blocker on the goal line was a good idea. Like, I mean, I've seen people overthink themselves, but shoo buddy. T's and P's to Tank Dell.
That's old Slowick, right? That's your guy that you want to make a head coach.
Yeah.
You ought not have done that to your boy. He's just a little feller.
He's just a little feller. He ain't no bigger than a squirrel. And you got him flattening, his leg went the wrong direction.
So he's done for the year, which is bad. But, I mean, Nico Collins, that continued to work despite the Tank Dell injury.
Yeah, you remember that thing I said about Denver of, hey, whoever Pat Surtain on, throw it the other guy because it's bad. I mean, I watched way more of this game than I should because it was the only 1 o'clock game that I even kind of cared about.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like every time they would line up in formation, I was just trying to find, where is PS2? There he is. Okay, ball's not going that way. So let's watch the other receivers. And, oh, weird, you're all open, every single one of you. Just pick your poison. Who could it possibly be? Houston's really good.
Yes.
Denver, you have a lot of turnover luck, and you saw it yesterday. Weird. Russell Wilson, you needed him to win you a game. What did he do? Turned it over 3 times.
Yep.
Offensive line's not particularly good. Russell Wilson, not particularly good. None of that's changed. You had a nice win streak, and it was awesome. But it didn't change who you are.
No. But, I do still feel like, watching down the stretch of that game, I feel like we've seen, I don't know if turning the corner is the right word to say, but Russell's better. He's no doubt better than he was last year.
Yesterday. He was awful yesterday.
Okay. Down the stretch, he was making plays with the legs, and it looked kind of old school Russell Wilson.
And then it looked new school Russell Wilson. Hey, we really need you to make a play. Break out of a sack, and worst pass you throw all day.
Yep.
You know who that reminded me of? Geno Smith. It's exactly what I thought. As I watched him do it, I went, oh, my God, he just did the best Geno Smith impersonation I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. You had the walk-off win for the Indianapolis Colts over the Tennessee Titans.
I feel like we've got there's a nice separation now in the AFC. Right?
Yeah.
Cincinnati loses tonight, we can officially eliminate the Chargers, the Bengals, the Raiders, the Jets, the Titans, and the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
You're all done.
Yep.
Buffalo with one more loss, I kind of feel like you're in the same boat. And if you haven't looked at that schedule, you should take a gander at it and go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll keep you in for right now. Denver, you're in the same boat. One more loss, and so that would leave you with the Texans, Colts, Browns, Steelers, Chiefs, Jaguars, Ravens, Dolphins.
Oof.
Man, that AFC does not look as good as we once thought it would be.
It did not age well
the Jets,
at all.
The Jets died. The Chargers died. The Bengals died. The Bills died. Man, you take 4 legit contenders away, and it's weird. AFC is not as daunting as I once thought it was.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about this every year. Every year we talk about who are the new teams. Who are the new teams that are going to be in the playoffs, right? Because we have turnover every year. Some teams that made it last year don't make it this year. This is probably one of the weirdest batches. When you consider the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos.
Well, the Denver Broncos aren't in it to me, so.
Well, mathematically they are.
Well, mathematically the Patriots are still in it. So I'm not so sure that I would go mathematically. Let's go more realistically. And there is a realistic path, but my Lord have mercy, you're going to need a lot of help.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the Rams and the Packers.
Well, that's just because the NFC's
looking
awful.
In the NFC.
That's just because the NFC's awful.
Same record, right? Same record as those teams in the AFC. I'm not saying they're as good.
Well, they're playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Liberty has the same record as Michigan. Let's common sense. Come on now.
No doubt about it, but still, it's wild to me how we have these swings every year. You just never know what you're going to get.
I just find it funny that right now you would have 3 teams in from the NFC North, which we thought was the worst division in the league, and you would have 3 teams in from the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, only 1 from the NFC West. Meanwhile, only 1 from the AFC West and the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those preseason predictions, they're so smart.
Aren't they
Glad
fun?
we do those. Hit your button.
Breaking news?
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is from Diana Rossini, who does great work. She's now with The Athletic, and I was today years old when I learned that. I thought she was still one of ours here at the mothership. And Zach Rosenblatt. The New York Jets are leaning towards turning back to Zach Wilson ahead of the game with the Houston Texans. You never should have not done that in the first place. That's not the breaking news story. Apparently, Zach Wilson is reluctant to stepping back in after he was benched for Tim Boyle.
Nice. So now they're going to and say, we want you to start again. He's going, no, I'm good.
No.
Can we just cut you now? Can I just get rid of you now?
He's the best quarterback on the roster. It's not all that close.
I don't care.
I do. Well,
Go home.
Look, I don't want to win any more games. I don't. I don't want to win any more games. For the love of God, don't accidentally win a game. Because right now, you're on a collision course for the number 3 pick. And it's very possible that 1 and 2 are both quarterbacks. And that means that we, the New York Jets, could have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garrett Wilson being thrown to by Aaron Rodgers next year, which is about the only thing that's making me happy right now.
I've never heard of this before.
This
has got to doom you, right?
Oh, he was doomed anyway.
There can't be a coach that looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I want to give you a shot."
He
now.
was doomed anyway. The report around one Jet Drive is that everybody's coming back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Hackett will be the OC next year. Salo will be back as the head coach. Joe Douglas will be back as the GM.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron will be back as the quarterback.
Yep.
For the love of all that's good and holy, can we find an offensive lineman somewhere? I don't care who it is. I don't care if you call Andrew Whitworth. I don't care if you call Jonathan Ogden. I don't care if you call Orlando Pace. He's like 60 years old. That's better than what I saw yesterday.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's got a parlay of the night coming your way next. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations. Donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Hi, this is Ellerslie McHugh. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Western Ag Programs wants to wish you a Merry Christmas and to thank all of our farmers, growers, and makers for their dedication to this season that we see on our plates, in our homes, and all around us.
Wishing you love, light, and many blessings for a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays from Stargazers Designs and Balsam Mountain Floral.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Ever felt lost in the maze of health insurance options? Hummingbird Insurance, North Carolina's #1 rated health insurance agency, is here to help. Did you know most qualify for health insurance with $0 net premiums? Don't stress. Hummingbird Insurance is no cost and walks you through your options across insurance carriers. Understand your options now and be ready for 2024 enrollment. Visit hummingbirdins.com and schedule your free consultation. Hummingbird Insurance. Comparison shopping made easy.
It's my favorite parlay of the night. In the first hour, I told you I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals plus the 10. I'm going under the 40. I will also go anytime touchdown scorer Joe Mixon because somebody's going to score touchdowns. Maybe not many of them, but I like the chances Joe Mixon gets in the end zone this week. I also like Christian Kirk, anytime touchdown scorer for the Jaguars. Over 240.5 passing yards for Trevor Lawrence. Over 217.5 passing yards for Jake Browning. If you take all those in a same-game parlay, put 5 on it just like I am, it pays at plus 13,000, which would turn your $5 wager into 655 U.S. dollars. I just hit the button. You should too. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get a 125% deposit match on your initial investment and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can bet football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon, and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on to WWNC.com and go to contest, and you can sign in to make your picks. Each weekly winner wins a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. Make your picks now.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Wishing you love, light, and laughter, and a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, too. Happy holidays from Terry Lynn Queen at iHeartMedia Asheville.
Wishing you and yours health, love, and happiness throughout the holiday season and in the new year. From your friends at the YMCA of Western North Carolina. We hope to see you soon.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Take us with you around the world. You can also see us live on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Vote on polls when we put them up in the chat. We got links to the new merch up in the chat as well. So it just benefits you to be a member of the House of Reprehensibles.
Over the course of the next few weeks, we will be unveiling some more new stuff over the weekend. And when I say over the weekend, I really mean mostly yesterday while I was sitting in my living room, just catatonic.
Seething.
We will have team-by-team shirts. Now, obviously, we're not licensed with the NFL, so I can use their font because it's illegal to trademark a font. Can't do it. I learned that, and now you know it too. But we have individual the beer mug logo. If you follow us on social media, you know what we're talking about. Where we have the Asheville City skyline, I have replaced it with the skyline of every NFL city and made the beer mug the color of those teams, and it goes on the sleeve of all of the individual team shirts.
That's so awesome.
I think it's a cool little and I can't take credit for that. That was Stephen Towle.
Mm-hmm.
He had the idea of putting the Maryland flag in a Baltimore one, and I did it, and I went, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, and then I got drunk, and you know what happens when Jeremy gets drunk. He gets a brilliant idea. This is why I drink all the time. It's not because I have a problem. Okay?
That's debatable, but I mean, we can press on. We can leave that for another show.
Hey, let's just in the essence of self-preservation, you take that face and remember who you're facing it at and how angry a person that is today.
Indeed. Well, I will give you the opportunity here because today is, of course, a Monday, and it's always stock up, stock down for the weekend for today's daily draft. And so, stock down for the weekend, Jeremy Green with the number one selection.
I mean, I feel like you already know what I'm going to take here because I have to. CFP, stock down.
Yep.
It's travesty. And for your sake, I mean, I won't be watching it, so I won't know. But for your sake, you better hope that 3 or 4 seed doesn't get just blistered.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
And I hope to God they do.
You said that, not me. I had to deal with Alabama fans all day yesterday. Sick him.
Go ahead. Come on, Alabama fans. Come at me. Yeah. I mean, of course, I'm a little sore about it, and I hope to God you lose. Like, big.
I actually think that's
but I don't think you will.
I mean, look, I think the matchups are incredibly palatable. I do think Washington will beat Texas. The other one, I don't even really have a lean on, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for it because I am going to watch all of it because, frankly, my team blew its shot.
Well, there is a possibility that I watch that game, but we will tell you what that is later in the week.
Yes. All right, my first pick. Well, since you took the entire CFP.
Yeah, I did. I took it all. Committee.
which I feel like cheating, but okay.
You know what's weird? I've only known of 2 people in my entire life named Boo, and somehow he's still the 3rd most competent one. How is that possible?
Don't know.
Old Boo Ratley. That was from a book that I had to read that I don't remember. Is that To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah, good for you.
Let's go. I did a book.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Woo! Got that big brain energy. Let's go.
All right, now, what's the next one? Is there another one? You said there were 3, didn't you?
Oh, Boo, as in what is said by a ghost. That's the second most intelligent one.
All right, I was gonna give you maybe like King Boo from the Mario games. That's the only Boo I could think of.
I just realized that you look like King Boo and the Hamburger Helper glove had a child.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm never gonna unsee that.
And my long lost cousin is Kirby. Thank you for just pile them all in there.
Oh,
all
Patrick
of the
Holt,
cartoonish characters.
Patrick Holt said you forgot Boo Berry, which is Boo Berry is
Boo. Oh yeah,
it's not quite as good as a Bo Berry, but
no.
Bo Berry biscuit, top 3 biscuit of all time.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Doubt.
Yeah.
Bobo's got them biscuits. Let's go.
Right. I think all the top 3 biscuits of all time, I think those are all from Bojangles.
I don't even like biscuits, and I love the ones from Bojangles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a croissant man. I need soft. I don't want that flaky, dry crap.
Soft.
Most biscuits have about as much moisture in them as a deer antler. So.
Yeah, I hear no lies once again. I will go NFL stock up for the San Francisco 49ers. Look, I know that you can't really go much higher than we already feel about them because they're constantly in our top 3, top 4, have been all year. in the power rankings, but I mean, you keep beating the snot out of the other top contenders in the NFC, then I got to do nothing but continue to mark you up, right? Because for me, now San Francisco has jumped over Philadelphia.
Really?
Yes.
Definitively. They play each other in the playoffs. If there's no line, you're taking San Francisco.
I will favor San Francisco. If you ask me to set the line, I would say San Francisco would be a favorite. And I don't care where you're playing that game. This is how I feel. I love Philadelphia as well, but you got some major holes right now, and San Francisco looks like they're on a mission from God to not only win the NFC and win a Super Bowl, but to hurt everybody else's feelings in the process.
Well, the only problem for me with San Francisco is exactly what Lee Bruce said in our YouTube comments. Nobody's beating San Francisco when they're healthy,
right?
In his opinion, and I can't tell you you're wrong. I am at the point with San Francisco where their health is like the intelligence of the NCAA. When I see you do it more than 1 or 2 times in a row, I might believe it's a real thing. They always seem to have somebody get hurt right at the end of the year.
Yes,
and I hope it doesn't.
And if it happened, we've seen it. We saw the 3-game losing streak that happened a few weeks back.
Here's the thing.
You take away Debo, you take away Trent Williams, that's not going to go well for you.
Here's the thing. If you want to know how much all of us feel, how all of us that are not fans of the 2 teams I'm getting ready to say are, San Francisco, you're about the only thing protecting us from either another Philadelphia Eagle appearance in the Super Bowl or, and we say this with very hushed tones, a Dallas Cowboy appearance in the Super Bowl.
I almost see zero path to that happening.
What, Dallas?
If Dallas and San Francisco faced off in the playoffs, I have no faith that Dallas would win that game. Zero. That would be a bet. I would do the bet your house pick on that one.
I don't either.
Bet your house San Francisco is going to cover, whatever it is.
Just know that we could wind up with the Dallas Cowboy Miami Dolphins Super Bowl, and frankly, I've never seen a game where I hated both teams equally.
Yeah.
I would have to cheer for the officials or the commercials.
Right.
Like when you meet that cute girl and you're like, hey, we're going to go watch the Super Bowl. Who are you rooting for? Taylor Swift. Oy.
Eesh.
Man, glad you're cute.
Who?
Hypothetical.
Aha. I thought you were talking about Taylor Swift for a second. I was like,
no.
Are you drunk? Stock down for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the first time. This is the first time in like 3 years that I've looked at the Kansas City Chiefs and went, I don't know that you got it. I mean, I know Travis has got it, I know Patrick's got it, and I know Andy's got it. But the rest of that team, I'm not sure you have it. Now, I don't want to leave out the guys on the defense, but you know the stars. We all know the stars. As a cohesive unit and as a functioning offense especially, I don't think you have it. And I don't think I'm going to be as excited to see you go up against the Baltimore Ravens this year or practically, hell, anybody. You end up with you end up getting, what, second seed? Hell, they're at the 4 seed right now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
You end up in that position, you could get got by the Houston Texans. Right?
Well, I mean, you remember when we were talking about how fantastic that Kansas City Chief defense was? I mean, I hate to steal Eddie Fox's shtick here, but here in the real world, it's just not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not true. You can want it to be true all you want to. In consecutive games for the Kansas City Chiefs, Aiden O'Connell had an 88.7 QBR, and last night Jordan Love had a 90. That's a real bad sign, especially when you were really hinging on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the offense just hasn't been as good.
No. And Michael Meadows said in the comments, Kansas City needs a Devontae Smith like the Eagles have. Yeah, they need anything resembling Devontae Smith's brother. I don't feel like they have a real good wide receiver on that team other than Rashee Rice.
And he can't catch.
Right. And he's just a gadget guy. He's just a little more souped up version of Kadarius Toney.
Well, where Kansas City has gotten to is that they steered too much into the gadget guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have anybody that can just go flat out win. You got Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice. None of them run routes. and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, how in the world are you still in this league? He should have had a 70-yard touchdown last night.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is that he can't figure out, hey, stop running towards the safety, dum-dum. MVS, you've been in this league long enough that a fat guy that hasn't run a 40 since like 1997 probably should not be the one telling you this. If you're running a 9 route, you're never supposed to be running towards the safety. Ever. Don't lean it out. Run straight and away from the safety. Aim towards the sideline because, then it makes it easier for you to catch it. You wouldn't catch it anyway. Anyway, I don't have another stock down. My whole list. The CFP was so bad that by comparison, everything else is a stock up. Even the not the New York Jets, but I'm not taking that again. I've done it like 44 weeks.
Yeah, don't do that.
My next one's a stock up. It's Jordan Love. I mean, look, I was hard on this kid. We had a video on Instagram that a lot of people saw. A lot of people have felt the urge. By the way, okay, stop doing that thing where you go back to something somebody said 8 weeks ago and say, see, you're stupid. Do me a favor. If you're going to do that, take a camera every day and record the stupid things in your brain. And then I can do it to you.
Yeah.
Because that's what it – I mean, I'm not even asking you to do it 3 hours a day. Just take your hottest sports take every day and record that and put it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That
look,
is what I ask.
People can change their minds, and look, once you get more information about things like Jordan Love, if you don't change your mind, that says more about you than if you actually did and went, oh, look, here's evidence. He might actually be okay.
I'm going to make an analogy here because analogies are my thing. I'm an analogy man. Jordan Love has become like Tank's driving ability.
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I've ridden in a car with Tank a handful of times, and I can tell you definitively that he cannot drive a greasy peg up a cat's keys. He drives very fast. He switches lanes all willy-nilly like it's all true. It's all true. He can tell you it's not true. The nice thing is coming.
Willy-nilly.
Okay? You do that zipper merge thing that I don't understand. Yes, I understand it would work if everybody did it. Everybody's not going to do it. Air all my grievances in one day. But he keeps not having horrific car crashes. So obviously it's working.
Indeed.
His insurance is not $48 million a month or 6 months or however you pay that.
No.
Never paid one, so I wouldn't know. I was on a business plan forever, and now my wife's in insurance. So
yeah,
I know we have insurance. I do not know who it's paid to.
Yeah. Patrick Holt says, yeah, who sideswiped who in Florida, Tank? That was not my fault. I was in the center lane, and she hit me. Not my fault.
A likely story.
I have the police report to prove it. I'm a very safe driver. You just don't feel that way because I drive faster than you do.
You drive faster than practically any person I've ever rented a car with. And I am married to my wife. So she's back at work now. There's no chance she heard that.
Yes.
If she did hear that, you may have a fill-in host tomorrow because she might hit me in the head with a hammer.
All right, Jordan Love, no doubt stock up for him. Yeah, he's starting to make a believer out of me as well.
It's risky. I don't know that it's sustainable, but he's been very, very good.
Mm-hmm. And then
I got to go another stock up. The Indianapolis Colts. This team's better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a fan of a bad team, one of these just dragged New England Patriot, New York Jets, do you see how good it can get when you hire the right coach? And Shane Steichen was the right coach. They're doing all this with a backup quarterback. They made Alec Pierce a thing yesterday. He had looked like an absolute categoric bust for 2 years. But yesterday, in a game where they really fixated on Michael Pittman and they really fixated on Josh Downs. I mean, Michael Pittman he did what Michael Pittman does. Josh Downs didn't do much of anything. Alec Pierce was there to really fill in a lot of the holes. And that's a team that you don't want to see them in the playoffs. They can score points. The defense leaves a little to be desired a lot of the time. But I mean, just think about where they were a year ago. This was about the most downtrodden team in the league. Because you just looked at them and went, you have no quarterback. You have absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not sure that you don't have 2 quarterbacks.
And 2 running backs.
I don't know. I'm still not dead set on Jonathan Taylor, but
really,
I need to see him be good before I go, hey, yeah, you should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's hurt again.
Yes, now he is
but
hurt.
That team it's been a whale of a transformation. We don't talk about Shane Steichen enough for Coach of the Year. He's not going to win it, but he's in the discussion.
No doubt. I mean, he and Jonathan Gannon are both in the discussion. The problem is you got DeMarco Murray going to the playoffs.
D'Amico
Ryan. Sorry.
I was about to say.
Wow. That was a name from the past.
I was about to
DeMarco Murray.
When you said it, I immediately went, I don't know what you did wrong there, but you did something wrong.
I did. It was D'Amico Ryans, not DeMarco Murray. You know, it's a good time to take a break, kind of recollect ourselves. We'll continue with the daily draft, stock up, stock down from a very eventful weekend in the football world. Hang with us.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Save big during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Right now, get up to 50% off select artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
It is ESPN Asheville. You're listening to the Sportsocracy. Take us with you everywhere you go with the iHeartRadio app. Daily Draft. It's always on a Monday. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. Jeremy started it off, so of course he goes. The biggest stock down ever for the College Football Playoff Committee. Absolutely screwing Florida State out of a chance to play for a national title.
And if you missed the rant, I have no problem with Michigan. I have no problem with Washington. I have no problem with Alabama. It's Texas I've got a problem with. The only reason they got in is because they beat Alabama.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. I had to think about that for 24 hours. But I get it.
And you got there.
And I got there.
And you got there. I went, since he cheated and took all of college football, or at least not all of it, just the most important parts. I'll go, I went San Francisco stock up after just absolutely trashing the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia last night. Kansas City stock down for me. I don't know what's happening there, but it's not great, and I don't feel as confident as I once did in my prediction that you're going to go back to a Super Bowl. And then he goes, Jordan Love, stock up. I almost said Jordan Travis. And that would have been wrong.
Although stock up for him for telling Jalen Milroe to go win it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I thought his response on Twitter of, I wish I'd have broke my leg sooner so y'all could have seen this team actually play more without me. I thought that was great.
We're going to get there. Have no fear.
I thought it was great. And then you went stock up for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to go stock down for the Philadelphia Eagles because, as I just said a moment ago, I have now put San Francisco ahead of you in the hierarchy that is the NFC. Do I think it's a huge problem? No. Do I think you're just going to fall off the earth here? No, I have all the faith that you'll figure it out. Your talent will help you win out. You'll probably beat Dallas upcoming this week. But when it comes down to it, now I've seen San Francisco just beat the snot out of both you and Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not good. Not good. And then I'll go stock up for a team that didn't even play this weekend. It's the Baltimore Ravens. Because we once talked about the AFC North, like, man, this is going to be so down to the wire, and all these teams are going to. Remember, I had, all 4 of these teams winning 10 games or more on their way to the playoffs. It was going to be a perfect sweep, or at least one of them gets left out with 10 wins. Obviously, that's not happening now. But Baltimore, comfortably in the catbird seat now, watching the Cleveland Browns, who, yeah, they've got a great defense, but they can't play a lick of offense. And then you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, wait, they're the same team in some senses. Anyway, where defense is the best thing that you do. And Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, they've been out of the picture here for a couple of weeks now. Baltimore's got to be feeling great.
Oh, no doubt.
Going into the rest of the season. Yeah, we can just let's focus on keeping everybody healthy and let's just go take care of business.
Let's invest in bubble wrap and make sure everybody stays in it.
No doubt.
All right. I said I'm not taking any stock downs because I've got one that trumps all stock downs. So I'll go stock up Dallas Cowboys. Seeing vulnerability in Philadelphia against San Francisco, that's got to make you feel some kind of way. If you can come in here and steal this division, which I thought was an absolute pipe dream 6 weeks ago, and now everybody outside of San Francisco has to come to Jerry World, that changes things a lot. I feel better about you beating Detroit in Dallas than I would have ever felt about you beating them in Detroit. NFC South, they're not going to survive anyway. So probably catch Philadelphia in the second round, but even still, I feel better about that in Dallas than I would have felt about it on the road. And so you just see that one game while you're sitting home coming off the win against Seattle. That's a massive stock up to me, especially if Dak Prescott can keep playing the way he is. I don't think he can. History tells me that there's a grumper coming. But what if it doesn't?
He's playing great.
Next, I'll go Washington.
The Commanders?
Not Commanders.
Oh.
Not the Communists. No, they're woof. I don't know what that wow. Just mail it in. It still feel like Sam Howell's the future of that team.
Oh, no doubt. But you have to clean house.
But Washington, you show up to the Pac-12 title game. Nobody really gave you a shot. You were a 10-point dog. I fell for it because I just thought Oregon was better. And then, after you watch that game, you realize, no, Washington's the better team. Oregon had a nice 2-quarter stretch against Washington in the first game. Other than that, you pretty well were the aggressor in the other 6 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them a realistic shot to win this thing. I really do. I think they can beat Texas. I think they can beat Texas to death, to be really honest with you. Because I don't think Texas is all that good. And the way that they play defense with that set of receivers, with McMillan and Jalen Polt and Roma Dunza, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Now, you would go into a matchup with Alabama or Michigan, and they would go, oh, thank God, finally somebody that can't play defense. Good Lord, we have seen too many defenses in a row. But, I mean, the defense has even been better.
Still not elite, though.
It did a pretty good job against Oregon.
They did fine.
They made Oregon look horrific for 2 quarters.
Mm-hmm. All right, stock up for Washington. And now, I've got 2 here since we're doing the UDFA here.
Yes.
So you know what? I'm going to package together 2 more NFL teams, and they're both stock downs. The Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots. What on God's green earth was that? I have seen some bad NFL games before, right? That probably was the worst. And I didn't even watch the whole damn thing. I feel sorry for Chargers fans and Patriots fans who actually watched it from, kick to buzzer. God-awful 6-0 game that intrigued no one, and both of these teams are just awful.
Awful. Didn't have 500 yards between them, 26 total first downs. It was bad.
Fire them all.
Bad.
Get rid of everybody connected with both of those teams.
I agree. And now would be a great time to state that you said this is the worst football game you've ever seen.
Probably.
I just need you to understand. First of all, we get Mitch Trubisky-led Pittsburgh Steelers against that New England team on Thursday Night Football.
Ugh.
Let's go.
I'll be doing anything but that Thursday.
You also end the season, Week 18, New England Patriots at home against the New York Jets.
Tens of people can't wait.
2-0. Could be 4-2. I would take the when that game happens, if everything stays the same and nothing just is a huge swing, I swear to you, I would take the under 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you set that over-under at 12, I would take the under, and I would bet my soul on it.
Jets +7. Let's go.
They wouldn't be a 7-point dog. That's going to be somebody plus a half. Because one of you is going to get a safety. By the way, 6 safeties in the NFL this year. The Jets have 3 of them. Another fun stat, the Jets have 2 first-quarter touchdowns, 3 first-quarter safeties. Boom.
Wow.
Statted. I got to get this in here. Stock up SMU.
Why is that a stock up?
Because you just won your conference, which you haven't done in my lifetime. That's the first time they've picked up a trophy since the death penalty. Rhett Lashley's coming back because apparently he got passed over for all these other jobs. It was really obvious to watch how much this meant. And now this team goes into the ACC, which for them is a huge step up. SMU is one of those sleeping giant programs that you have to be careful with because they have the same thing as Houston. They've got a ton of big money boosters. Just had to find the right coach, and it's hard to do. I think Houston did it with Willie Fritz, although he did say he was going to retire, and then he went, nope, not so fast, my friend. I'm going down there. I'm just really happy for SMU. It took 40 years, but you have come through the depths of the death penalty. And here's to hoping we never do that to another program ever again.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, the ESPN Asheville.
Evan Doyle wanted a UDFA to UNCW for beating Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Good for them. Good for them. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Most important message of the day is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save big during Lowe's 25 days of deals. Right now, get up to 50% off select artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Get your home insanely clean with Zero-Res carpet and air duct cleaning. Call now to get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129 and mention ESPN Asheville to get a free hallway cleaning. Easily schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff at Asheville Smiles are here to get your smile back on track, offering comprehensive dental care from teeth cleaning, fillings, and crowns to smile makeovers with Invisalign or veneers and so much more. Asheville Smiles also has all the up-to-date technology, including same-day crowns, digital impressions, so no more goop, 3D x-rays, and single-tooth anesthetic wands so your entire face doesn't feel numb when you leave. For the highest level of comfort and care, call my dentist, Dr. Rebecca Merrill, at Asheville Smiles.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I understand you got a doozy today.
Don't do crimes. You got to cue me up to say that.
Yeah.
My story comes from the very bizarre state of California. So it's a California-based alternative healer.
Okay.
And there are all kinds of these. I think one of them is working with Jordan Love, quite possibly with a Ouija board. But this stems from an incident at one of his workshops in England 7 years ago. I'm not even Hung Chi Zhao, I believe is how that's pronounced, was charged with manslaughter by gross negligence in the October 2016 death of Danielle Carr Gom. You might be asking, what could possibly an alternative healer have done that would have led to a manslaughter charge? Well, apparently, he promotes Pita Legene therapy.
Okay.
What that means is that patients are slapped or slap themselves repeatedly to release toxins from the body. Patients often end up with bruises or bleeding. It has roots in Chinese medicine, but it has absolutely no scientific basis. Well, apparently, Miss Cargom, 71 at the time, died while attending one of these workshops because she was slapped to death trying to treat her diabetes. She struggled to inject insulin due to a fear of needles.
Okay.
So she went to this progressive New Age healer who said, we will slap the diabetes out of you. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of this woman's death. I am, however, lost on how in the world did somebody convince you that was going to work? I mean, people are convinced of Scientology every day, so I mean, I get it. There are some people that are easily convinced in life. I'm not one of them, but did you not say that out loud at any point and go, I've had diabetes all of my life, and now this person is going to slap me until I don't have that anymore?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you fall for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna smack you, and then as you bleed, it's gonna come out of your blood.
Yes,
Well,
we're gonna release the
works.
toxins, but we're gonna beat the disease out of you. Okay.
If I just hit you hard enough, it'll start seeping. Your diabetes will just start seeping out of your pores.
Do you ever find yourself watching those documentaries on cults, just going, nobody at any point asked a question?
Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. I don't know how you got them in on that.
Amy gets so irritated at me because anytime a new cult documentary, one just came out on HBO Max.
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Love is One. And it was this just absolute lunatic woman that was like the universe and all these things. And she was getting people to send her thousands of dollars for therapy sessions and things like that, and they were showing these videos that she was putting up on YouTube, and I'm like, how does anybody fall for that? I swear to you,
desperate people will believe in anything.
it was like she was making it up as she went along. And there were times that she would say things that would overlap, and I'd go, yep, there's where my first question would come in. That's not what you just said. Like 8 seconds ago, you said something completely, oh, you're really high. Oh, and all the people that are watching this are also really high.
Right.
Aha. And that is why Jeremy does not smoke crimes. Because I'm afraid I would become a gullible man.
Mm-hmm.
From all the crimes.
From all the crimes. Monday Night Football tonight.
That's why my therapies are all pretty simple. Nicotine, protein, alcohol, anger. It.
Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. Early in the season, this would have been a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
This would have been a mark your calendar. Got to be there for Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence and two teams on the rise. Not so much anymore.
Oh, no doubt. Week 4, this would have been, let's go. Now it's, okay, if Cincinnati loses this, I mean, we can agree on this, right? Cincinnati loses this game, they're, for all intents and purposes, they're done.
Yeah, you're done anyway, but you're still mathematically in it.
I mean, if somehow you find a way to win out, which would be difficult to do, but the rest of that schedule doesn't look as daunting as it did a handful of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you went out, you're still 11-6. Even if you catch a loss, you could still get to 10-7, but now you got to win out. And you got to play the Colts and Vikings in Cincinnati. You got to go to the Steelers and the Chiefs, and then you finish off with the Browns. And with Jake Browning, I'm just not really seeing a path of that happening.
No. I just don't believe in the Cincinnati Bengals as a team without that quarterback. And is that wrong of me? I mean, because this is still a talented team, right? You still got Joe Mixon, and you got the wide receivers, and you got some pieces on defense. It's just, I just look at that team without Joe Burrow and go, I have lost all faith. I mean, on the flip side, I don't think Cleveland can win without a quarterback either, but I still believe in that team more. Right, because at least one side of the football is top-notch. I believe more in Cleveland than I do in Cincinnati.
I don't know that I do. To me, they're pretty similar. I think all the three teams in the AFC North are pretty similar. You all have a gross deficiency, and you all have one thing that you do really, really, really well. The Steelers have a really good pass rush. The Browns have a really good defense. And the skill guys for the Bengals are phenomenal. Jake Browning has not been as bad as people pawn him off to be. He just doesn't throw much. And so the offense gets really bogged down. You're not pushing it down the field. But, I mean, he's completing 66% of his passes. And I'm not saying that's good. That stat is good, but it's also misleading. But it's something you can work with. I mean, this is a kid that played high-level college football for a really long time. So it's not like you're rolling out Tim Boyle or some of the other quarterbacks I've seen, Bailey Zapp, which he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to write home about. But I don't think Cincinnati as a team is that dead. I just think you're so far behind the eight ball because you started poorly, and then you've reeled off 3 losses in a row, one with Burrow, one in the game he got hurt in, and then the one that Jake Browning actually started.
And you go in tonight as a massive underdog, although you've already said you don't like that line. But you're a 10-point dog.
It's too high.
It does feel a little high, but I can see how you get there. I can see how you convince yourself that Cincinnati's just not going to be able to score and keep up with Jacksonville. So you could convince yourself that this is going to be a 17, 13-point ball game, something like that. I wouldn't touch it. I would not be on that side. I was leery when we took it on Friday, and it was at 8.5. Still did it, but I was leery about it. And I definitely would be leery about doing it now that it's more than that. But I don't think anybody really expects you to win this game.
No,
I don't think anybody really expects you to go to the playoffs. And that is a rallying cry for everybody on this team.
Well,
so you don't know. They may be able to shock you.
Well, I mean, and one of the things that you got to understand here is where we're at in the season. I mean, I feel like we can, like I said, I think you can kind of write Cincinnati off if they lose tonight. Do you realize that means that you'll have possibly Buffalo? That's the only one that wouldn't really be locked into this. You'd have Cincinnati, the Chargers, Vegas, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, the Jets, and Washington, all with top 13 picks in this draft, which is the best draft I've ever evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize how big of a seismic shift that could lead to? I saw Evan Doyle say this in the comments that he's really excited to have a top 10 pick. You should be. You should be. Because, I mean, think about the high-end talent that you can add in the top 10 of this class. And then next year, you're even more formidable. That's the only thing that's kept me somewhat sane through this god-awful season from the Jets.
Is knowing that you're going to add another potential star to that already star-studded team you have.
Which is why I want to keep losing. I was afraid they were going to beat Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of that game, I was actively cheering for us to lose.
You should be.
When Trevor Siemian threw that interception, I went, oh, thank God.
Improve your draft stock and go get one of those tackles, right? Get you Ola Fashanu or Joe Alt or
I'm all the way in on Marvin Harrison.
You're going to get a wide receiver.
I need 3 teams to lose for Marvin Harrison Jr. to be a thing. I'll still go get Devontae Adams. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hey, he wants to play with Aaron? Cool. Randall Cobb, bye. Alan Lazard, double bye. But, I mean, that's where you should be.
I was going to say you should find some way to add an offensive lineman at some point.
Oh, no doubt. Sign them. Those top 2 guys are going in the top 6.
Okay.
And I'm not taking either one of them over Marvin Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
He is real, real good. And that was with Kyle McCord throwing to him, who, by the way, is in the transfer portal. So, Ohio State fans, Christmas came early.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me give you another piece of information that I can only give you half of. You already have signed another quarterback that you're going to like way more.
Oh, transfer portal?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And it's already done, and it's been done.
Yeah.
Which is why Kyle McCord entered the transfer portal. He went, oh.
I see where this is going.
I don't believe I'm wanted here anymore.
Well, not to mention that, I mean, that they're going to go out and get the best quarterback that they can find on the transfer portal, and then you've still got Devin Brown behind you. So, it was clear. You want to make your money, you go find it somewhere else.
Oh, I think we might have a third button of the day.
Ready?
Yep, we do.
Ready?
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is from Ian Rappaport at Rap Sheet on Twitter. Sources: the Eagles and former Colts All-Pro linebacker Shaq Leonard have agreed to terms on a 1-year deal. That's a big old biggin. I mean, look, he has struggled since the injuries. But, I mean, he's a vast improvement over what you're playing.
Mm-hmm. But is that due because he's physically limited, or is that because he didn't fit the system that was put in without him?
It depends. When you watch the tape on Shaq Leonard, you still see burst plays where you go, oh, yeah, that's the guy. I mean, look, he's not the guy that he was 3 years ago. But can he come into Philadelphia and really have, I think, an impact? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's one.
The only thing I would be reticent about is he doesn't cover so well, and that seems to be just a big old problem.
I mean, it was a big problem last night. No.
Yeah, I have to ask this. Did the Space Jam ball somehow find its way into the Eagles' locker room? Because I believe every one of their corners has touched that ball, and they're not so great at footballs anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, you got the Shaq part right. Now go get the other part right. Go get Zach. Zach Ertz. Go get him. And that will help you because, I mean, how many times did they get in the red zone yesterday and could not convert? Had to settle for field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns? We've been football fans long enough to know that's not how you win games. I think adding Zach Ertz to solve that or could solve that problem once you're inside the red zone. Give you another target to go to rather than trying to rely on Jake Stoll.
Well, Jack Stoll.
Jack Stoll.
You're going to have Dallas Goedert back reasonably soon.
Yeah, but wouldn't I want them both? Wouldn't I rather have them both?
I don't know.
I did that once before, and it was all right.
Yeah, I don't put as much stock into Zach Ertz. And I'm doing that thing that I railed on earlier if I'm playing the transitive property. Hey, Trey McBride came in here and was awesome. Zach Ertz was completely irrelevant.
He had his moments. Right?
Yeah, last year. He's now a year older. I mean, that's the thing you got to be careful with these. I'll even say this about Shaq Leonard. You got to be careful that you think this is going to fix some gigantic problem on this team. There's a reason Indianapolis let him go.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a very devalued position. And I do think there were some schematic issues, but there are some health issues with him too. He's not going to come in here and play 50 snaps a game. This is a situational player. But I think in that situational role, he can be very good.
Yep.
I'm curious what Philadelphia told him, or if he just felt better about Philadelphia. I don't know, because everything I heard was it was dead heat between Philadelphia and Dallas.
Well, all Philadelphia had to do was to go to him and say that we need you, right? There is an immediate playing time role for you right now.
He had one of those in Dallas, too. It just probably wasn't as big of a need.
Right, because he's going to come in here and he'll now be the one at linebacker until the injuries take care of themselves, right?
I don't know that I agree with that. And I'm not sure that you should want him to do that. Always ask yourself, when these guys get cut like this for absolutely nothing, and I'm aware he had an onerous contract.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis was just fine going, bye. They had the celebration for him in the stadium. There was no animus here. And sure, they were taking care of their guy to a point. I feel like people are thinking they're going to get the all-pro that played in Indianapolis. You're not. You might get 70% of that, and that's better than anything you have. But how many snaps can the body hold up to?
Right.
So just temper the expectations. It's a good signing. It's always good to have another vet in the room.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it got to the point yesterday where they were playing 3 safeties at linebacker.
Yes.
So that's a huge problem.
Yes.
I'd much rather play Shaq Leonard
Oh, no doubt.
at linebacker than have to play my safeties because I'm so hurt. It's a great signing, I think, by Philadelphia. Is exactly what they had to do. And I still feel like you need to go get Zach. And let's see what happens, because you need to work on that offense, no doubt. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We started it out the 4 o'clock hour with Jeremy's CFP response.
It's only been 4 months.
Did I do that?
Yeah,
again?
you've done it twice.
Yeah, that's all right.
4 o'clock's an hour and a half from now.
Yes, the 1 o'clock hour. Excuse me. Started off with Jeremy's second CFP response. He's worked on another one here.
This is not really a response to the CFP. This is just names on the door, and I want to get this out, and I'm gonna.
Okay. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, he's going to be mad.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Buncombe County makes sure that everyone is entitled to their day in court. Get automated court date reminders on their website and avoid making a serious offense. Sign up today. Register at buncombenc.courtdates.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just send them a text.
Text VALUE to 323232 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add your retirement fund. It's up to you. Just text VALUE to 323232 right now to see if you qualify. Text the word VALUE to 323232. Text VALUE to 323232 now.
You've been miserable with joint pain for so long. You want and deserve relief, but you keep putting off that call to QC Kinetics. Now's the time because QC Kinetics is rolling out something huge. It's a voucher for $500 off your first joint pain treatment. Whether it's your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, the QC Kinetics voucher applies to any area. This is a limited time offer. QC Kinetics is the largest regenerative clinic in the country with tens of thousands of satisfied patients who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Reach out to the team at QC Kinetics today and ask them, how can I get a $500 off voucher? They'll walk you through the steps and get you started on your way to relief. Don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Call for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, 828-333-9517. Limited time only, not valid with any other offer.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
A lot of the narrative over the last 24 hours has been about Jordan Travis and Florida State being left out of the playoff. And one of the things about having a show with your name on it and a door with your name on it and a microphone with your name on it is that I get to say things that I want to say. And that's what I'm going to do right here. I will admit this hurt a lot. And it didn't hurt for the reason that you think. Do I fully believe that Florida State could have gone into the playoff and been competitive? Yes, I do. And here's why. It's because of guys like Jared Verse. It's because of guys like Kalen DeLoach, Tatum Bethune, Akeem Dent, and Johnny Wilson. These were all guys that could have been drafted players last year from the Florida State Seminoles. A couple of them hurt their value coming back this year. Johnny Wilson's the one I'm thinking of specifically. He would have been a late first-round pick last year. Now he probably fits in somewhere in day two. 6'7" guy that came from Arizona State and was a great Seminole. He'll be a lifelong Seminole. I will love him for the rest of my life because he is a Seminole. And all of these guys banded back together. All of them could have gone to the league. Many of these guys that are on the two deep could have transferred and probably gotten more playing time elsewhere, but they came back together and said, we're going to finish this. Then something horrific happens. You lose your quarterback in a placement game, in a payment game against North Alabama, and it's awful. And I watched this team band together for two games, one against Florida, your most hated rival, who could have kept you out of the playoff. with a win. Dirty hit on Tate Rodemaker. It was dirty. That's not an opinion. That's not a rival thing. It was a dirty hit, and that changed your season. And you had an 18-year-old kid come in and do the best that he could with a bunch of guys that he had never had a rep with. And you managed to win an ACC championship, something that you hadn't done since 2014. I was at that game. I never thought that the good times were going to stop rolling, and then the Jimbo Fisher thing happened. And as a lifelong Florida State fan, I have to say, you know what, you didn't make the playoff, and the season's kind of come to an end. You still have an Orange Bowl game, but a lot of you aren't going to play, and I don't blame any of you for not playing in it. But as somebody that went through the doldrums of Willie Taggart and some bad times at Florida State, as somebody with a microphone and a voice, I just want to say to every one of you, it's a hell of a ride. And it meant the world to me, and I thank you for it. So I hate it ended this way, but it was a great time in Florida State history, and I thank every single one of you for bringing it to us.
Yep. You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow at noon for a Power Rankings Tuesday.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly sunny skies, breezy out here this afternoon, and a little cooler than we were yesterday. Temperatures still, however, a few degrees above average with highs in the upper 50s. Low to mid-30s tonight, turning colder through midweek. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Highs Tuesday, low to even mid-50s. Rain, even snow showers are possible. Overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday. It'll be colder on Wednesday with high temperatures only around 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
Who are we going to cheer for on Sundays now?
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.